Gotta burn it up in the Joker series. Burn it down, push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. We're dancing with the flame. Every corner's deadly, but we play the game. Joker's rules, no mercy, no disguise. See the hunger for the win in every driver's eyes. Wreckage in the rear view, ghosts on my tail. Push the throttle harder, I was born to fail. No brakes, no mistakes, just a rebel's heart. Joker series rips the world apart. Truth is, I'm wired, adrenaline's my vice. Risk it all, roll the dice, pay the price. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Joker's got me hooked, no time for rest. Gotta burn it up in the Joker series. Burn it down, push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never bound. Burn it down, yeah, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down.
Race underway, the very first Joker series. And I don't know, I don't think anything like this has been done in Gran Turismo that's been at least broadcasted, so...
Engines roar, the night ignites, speeding through the neon lights. Salamanders crawl, we hear the sound, the Joker series, it's going down. Twist the wheel, feel the flame. Every track is not the same.
Go.
Feel the thrill. Ooh, yeah. The Joker series, chase the skill. Round and round, we play the game. Fast and wild, never tame. Never tame. Never burns. The crowd goes wild. Victory's grin, the racer style. And across the globe, we're locked in tight. Salamander leads us into the night. Turn the corner, speed away. Every moment here to stay. Baseline pounding, hearts collide. The Joker series, ride or die. Go. Feel the thrill. Ooh, yeah. The Joker series, chase the skill. Round and round, we play the game.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Salamander Racing Joker Series. We are here for another event at Yas Marina. Welcome, everybody, to the chat, and welcome to all those drivers that are going to be giving us a show today. I am joined in the booth today with two friends of mine. The first being someone that you guys are all familiar with, Tati. Hi,
What's up,
Tati.
guys?
How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Sal?
I am doing really well. Looking forward to this one. And our second commentator we've got is a newcomer to the Joker Series booth. It's our good friend Oak. How you doing out there, Oak?
Hello. I'm doing well today, Sal. How are you?
Excellent. I am, like I said, looking forward to this one. Happy to have you guys on board. Oak, you've participated in some of the Joker Series races, haven't you? You just haven't been on this side of it.
Yeah, I've done a bit of the exhibition races. I haven't quite gone to the actual real 4D race or prize races, but yeah, these races are all fun and they're all and really enjoyable to just race in.
Awesome. Well, it's a good segue. You mentioned 4D Racewear, our sponsor. I'd like to right off the bat thank them for joining us.
Makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet.
Thank you for that, Oak. And we have a special surprise. We do have in the booth, I don't have him on webcam, but we have Jim, the founder of 4D Racewear. I believe we have him on comms here. Jim, are you there and can you hear us?
Yes, I am. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Jim, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing really well. It's Friday night and done working. Got a big race tomorrow, so feeling good about that. And yeah, it's a good night.
Awesome. Yeah. I'd like to thank you for being on board for the Joker series for quite a while now. I think people have had a lot of fun, racing for the prizes. I know the people that have won the trophies and the custom jerseys especially seem to be quite a hit. But we have had a number of people go out and buy the shoes, the racing gloves for your feet. I've got the pair myself. I love them. I wanted to give you a chance to kind of give us the 4D Racewear origin story. Like how long have you been doing it? Where did this all start? And kind of what's been your goal with the company?
Yeah, sure. First, I just want to thank everybody that's supported us, that's bought our products, and the guys that have won the jerseys. They're real appreciative. They really like the custom jerseys. So thank you all for your support and promoting us. And the 4D Racewear kind of started. Started back in 2017. I'd kind of, I guess, a little backstory. I'm kind of an old guy. I'm over 50, so don't hate me for that. But I've been doing sim racing as long as sim racing has been around. Since the pole position days, and when PC gaming started, and you could buy a Logitech Wingman steering wheel and bolt it to your desk. I was doing it since then, but I took a long break. Like after about 2007, 2008, I took like a 10-year hiatus, and when I came back, I was just floored at how good the new equipment was. Bought myself a modern set of pedals, and with load cell pedals and modern force feedback wheel and everything, and started driving again. And with the old what were they called, the potentiometer type pedals, where you don't have the load cell, you don't use as much pressure, and so I always raced in socks, and it gave me the best feel of where I was on the pedal, and was the best. I felt the best way for me to race, and so when I came back to doing it and started racing with load cells, the socks just weren't good enough. I was tearing them up
Sure.
every couple of days, just putting holes in them, and so it's like, well, I need something better, and I tried first I tried karting shoes. They have a rubber sole. They were okay, but it felt disconnected from the pedal. Like I couldn't really get the feel I needed to get the right level of braking that I wanted. So I looked and looked and looked and tried different things, and ultimately just decided to do it myself and came up with a prototype, found a manufacturer, and by the time we got to the production point, and I had a group actually working on the first prototype, then COVID hit. And I thought it was going to be like a great thing because everybody started sim racing all of a sudden. It like blew up. iRacing was, they had real life NASCAR events, on iRacing that they were broadcasting, with NASCAR drivers and the IndyCar drivers, and it was great. But the disruption in supply and shipping and everything, like almost killed the whole project. It costs blew out of proportion, and long story short, it took us another couple years to really regroup and get our product out there and finally get our shoes, get a production batch ordered and get them up for sale. So we managed to overcome that, and then things have started to pick up, and we attended the Sim Gaming Expo in Schaumburg, Illinois last year, and that's where I met Viking, who put me in touch with you guys, and we really had a great response from people there. They really liked our product, and it started to grow from there. Really, the more we kind of get the word out and get our products in front of people, they seem to like them. So I guess that's really my next step. I got to do a little better marketing, and you guys are kind of like the test group for some of my marketing projects. But
sure.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much the whole story. We've come up with the reaction shoe now, which is pretty much our our gold product. It's the sole of it is a special suede synthetic leather, gives you just the right amount of grip on the pedal. They're very flexible and comfortable, and it's it's the thing we set out to do. So now that we've got it, we just got to try and sell them. So I really
and
appreciate all the help.
I've got a pair of those, and I love them. I mean, every time I get in the rig, I make sure to put the shoes on. I mean, no joke, they are very comfortable. I did the same thing as you, raced in socks all the time, and thankfully I had got your shoes before I got a load cell pedal, so I haven't actually tried. I think I originally tested it with just socks on, and you're right, it was like this just doesn't work. So I never tore up any socks because I spent very little time in them. But I mean, yes, they are very comfortable for your feet. Like we mentioned, I mean, you've got those other products like you mentioned the jerseys. The jerseys are phenomenal. I got the gloves. I've got really big hands, so it's tough to find gloves that fit. The ones I've got, they haven't started to rip up on me or anything like that. The previous pair from a different manufacturer that I used to have did eventually started getting tears in them because I've got such large hands, but they seem to last. So yeah, you got good stuff out there. I'm hoping that we're getting people sent over your way. And once again, I appreciate you being on board with us. We love being able to promote 4D Racewear and everything you guys have to offer.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I can always tell when you guys have a big event because the orders will start to to pick up a little bit. So
Cool.
yeah, just love to see it, and we love racing, and the console stuff is a little foreign to me now. It's been a long time since I've had a PlayStation. Actually, I believe I have a PS2
Oh,
hiding
my.
behind my TV somewhere. I think that's the last PlayStation I've ever bought.
Oh, boy.
So yeah,
Well, if you haven't watched this, GT7 is a beautiful looking game. I know iRacing is kind of the gold standard as far as realism and all that stuff, and people like to talk about GT7 as being more what do they call it, simcade, in that
Okay.
it's part sim, part arcade, but
sure.
it's gorgeous to look at. Still, the drive is pretty realistic. It'll be fun to watch. So, um,
Yeah.
you're welcome to stick around if you want to hang out here in the booth with us while we get stuff going here. Otherwise, if you got to run, we understand that too. But thanks again for kind of sharing your story with us, and we'll hope to continue to send people your way.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I can hang out for a little bit. It's a little late. I have to get my dinner still tonight, but I'd like to see part of the race. Talked about how iRacing compares to the PlayStation, but I've seen a few of the videos and the broadcasts, and I think the GT7 looks really pretty sharp. I was really digging those old Trans Am cars that were in the intro there. Those are wild looking.
Yes, they are.
That'd be dope.
All right, cool. So we're gonna move on in the broadcast, get everything going. I know we've got just about a full lobby. We got a whole bunch of people in here ready to get racing. So I think first and foremost, we're going to start off with what is going to be going on in this next round. And Tati, do you want to take us through the exhibition race settings?
Absolutely. So the settings for the exhibition races, these are the races that are kind of like the practice races, if you will, before the real prize round. 14 laps. There are 3 jokers per lap. I don't know where they are, so we'll be learning together. Tire wear is at 2x. Racing softs and racing mediums are required. The fuel burn is at 2x. You're going to get a refuel rate of 3 liters per second. I don't think it's going to come into play in this race. Damage is light. And there are 6 cars to choose from this time around, which is a lot. You've got the Ferrari 296 GTB, the Aston Martin Vulcan, the Bugatti Chiron, the Pagani Huayra, the Lamborghini Veneno, and the Porsche 918 Spider. So a bunch of superlative street cars on this track. Should be a good time.
Yeah, we made sure the theme of this one we called the Billionaires race. We wanted to use the most exotic cars we could find in the game and throw them at the most exotic track in the game and see where it goes. One quick correction, it is 3 jokers per race, not per lap. That would be crazy.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I said per lap. You know what? It felt wrong when I said it, but I was like, we're going with it. Yeah, per race.
But there we go. That's the exhibition race settings. And then secondly, we have got our keys to the race. So the first key to the race for this one is I've got as to track your progress. This one is a bit extreme. We've got, when we get to the prize split, it's going to be all 3 racing compounds are required. And then, like we mentioned, there are 3 joker laps. So as with the normal rules for the Joker series, you cannot take your Joker lap on the first lap, on the last lap, or on any of the out laps. So you've got to make sure to kind of track which tires you've used and which Jokers you've already completed. It's a lot to keep track of in your mind while you're still trying to, navigate the traffic. So tracking your progress is one of our keys to the race.
The second key is going to be mind your braking. These cars, some of them move around a lot under braking. That rear end is going to be heavy on most of these mid-engine cars. So be careful of that trying to come around on you in some of these corners. Brake in a straight line and pray.
For the third key to the race, it is to know your car. There's 6 different choices of cars that these drivers can choose, each with very different characteristics. Some could be faster in straights, faster in corners, or even faster acceleration. So, really with the time or with the practice that these drivers have been able to put down, I'm really curious to see what their choice of car is in this round.
Thank you guys for that. Yeah, and as a reminder, we're going to run 2 exhibition races, and for the exhibition races, um, I had introduced a rule a while back that if you're going to run in both, you can't run the same car in both of them. So a lot of these guys are going to try to put in some practice before the prize split, but they're going to have to run at least 2 of the 6 cars for this initial event. So it'll be anxious to see what everybody chooses. Looking in the lobby right now, it looks like a lot of. Let me see. We got a couple of Vulcans. We've got a Pagani. We've got the Ferrari, and we've even got a Lamborghini Veneno. So we got 4 different manufacturers represented in this first exhibition. That's really fun to see. So, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here and go talk to the drivers, make sure everybody's ready to go, and get them guys onto the track. So Tati, Oak, and Jim, I will leave things in your hands. Talk amongst yourselves until we get qualifying underway, and I will be back at the end of the broadcast in order to congratulate the winners. Oh, I totally forgot to mention we are having a livery contest. One of the prizes that we're giving away in this one is to the winner of the livery contest. I've got it pinned in the chat that there is an online voting. There are 4 people that submitted their designs, and they will be running them tonight. So we'll make sure to give them some airtime when they go around so you can get a good picture of what those cars are. But go to the website, vote for your favorite livery of those 4. And at the end of the broadcast, whoever has the most votes is going to win a custom 40 Racewear jersey from Jim over at 40 Racewear. So definitely go check that out. Certainly stick around and look for the cars on track so you can kind of get an all-around view of what they look like. And we'll announce that at the end of the broadcast as well. So until later, I leave it in your guys' capable hands. I'll be back at the end.
See you, Sal.
Thanks, Sal.
Oak, you race way more than I do. I feel like I'm out of the loop. What are your thoughts on strategy with 6 different cars? And I'm not expecting you to have it perfect because I'm sure you didn't practice with these cars. But do you have any experience with these machines?
Honestly, these cars are a bit out of my range. I usually try to stick to the group, the group cars, the group 4, group 3, group 2. But as we've seen from the requirements, I think this race might be a 2-stop or a one-stop strategy race. I think it just comes down to what lap you want to pick. Yeah. So for the exhibition, I do think it'll be a one-stop race. As for the prize split race, I think maybe a 2-stop. We'll have to see, but yeah, I'm definitely a bit foreign to these types of cars for sure.
Heard. I don't race these a lot. I'm like you. I normally either stick to group cars or I go like extreme opposite end of street cars where it's like, softly sprung comfort softs maybe type of vehicles. I think some of these hypercars, they do a good job. They handle pretty well, surprisingly. I think in the past, these kind of cars in these games are a nightmare to drive. I imagine there's still a little bit of that, but it feels like you're going to get the street car feel, but a bit more aero. I think all of these have active aero, if I'm not mistaken. Even the Pagani, if I recall, even back then, it's like in 2013, I think it has active aero. So you're going to get a little more downforce than you would expect, but it doesn't seem like you can really rely on it. I think you still have to be judicious with your inputs on these cars. And the fact that they are so fast, but with less, aerodynamic grip and probably a little bit more body roll and stuff, they can catch you out, especially in some of these quick transitions. So aside from race strategy, just drivability is going to be a concern for people who haven't practiced in these. I think, at least.
Yeah, it definitely will. I think, I did a couple laps in these cars, and the big thing was getting your foot down on the throttle with there not being too much downforce. It's quite tricky to get those tires rolling, So
yeah,
I think spinning and not catching those pens is going to be a big factor in this one, especially with how, as we've seen in the daily races, the track limits are at and he has Marina. It could be quite strict at times. So with there not being as much aero as a group car, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the drivers adapt to these kinds of cars.
It will be interesting. And one of the things about adaptability that's funny is most of us, at least who race in the PHG family of leagues, are typically racing like group 3s, right? Maybe you'll go to group 1s. Either way, you're looking at things with like huge box fenders. They're way wider. And so you get a lot of leeway with going over curbs and track limits with those. Whereas these cars, while they are obviously wider than like a Volkswagen Golf, they're more narrow. And I find that people get caught out like that a lot because they think they can go over the curb a bit more depending on the view that they race in, right? They're so used to having, like, knowing, hey, these outside tires are going to be on the outside of the white line, not in the street car, So yeah, I think those penalties will definitely come in, and those who race in all 3 races or both of the exhibition races will probably have an advantage there on that last race, just from knowing that.
Yeah, for sure. And what about you, Jim? Have you ever gone into the realm of these kinds of cars in iRacing?
I've driven like the Mazdas. There's the MX-5, the Miata is a big popular class on iRacing. That was kind of early on in my iRacing career. I'm from Indianapolis, and the IndyCar has always been my thing. So once I kind of progressed into the IndyCar, that's sort of where I settled. And I drive, our team drives mainly the IR18 and the Lotus 79. But the GT3 is probably the closest thing maybe to some of these more powerful sports cars that they're running today. I was kind of curious, like how many people drive with simulators versus like controllers in this series?
Solid question. I feel like most people are on a rig. But there'll probably be a surprising number of people on controller who are really fast too. This game is very forgiving to controller, so it still works out for folks who don't have a rig. But I think at this level, most folks have a wheel and pedal.
I think it's definitely an advantage, but surprisingly enough, occasionally someone will pop up in one of my leagues on iRacing who's like on vacation or had to travel for work, and they'll be playing on a controller, and they can be pretty good at it still.
Nice. It's definitely a skill set. I've been on a wheel for years now, and in those times where I'm like, oh, I'm not hooking up the rig, or I'm not near it or something like that, you realize how much you've forgotten on how to be fast on a controller. It's a different kind of fine motor control to try to trail brake and be careful on the throttle. Reasons like that are why you find controller racers will often struggle with tire wear in this game, because it's so much harder to be smooth because you have a much smaller range of motion and much finer inputs that you have to put in on a controller. Everything has its advantages and disadvantages. Ooh, we just saw a little washout on the front tires of whoever that was, but I think everyone's on cold tires now. I think these are outlaps that we're looking at here. We have I think it's a 5-minute quali, correct?
Yes, so there is a 5-minute quali. Gives these drivers about, I think I'd say probably 2 flying laps at most.
I think so.
Yeah, so these laps are about in the 150, minute 50 range. Yeah, so I do think it's about 2 laps that these drivers will be able to clock in.
That sounds right. And we got Sal, our cameraman, going through and looking at some of these liveries, letting y'all get a look at them so you can vote on your favorite livery on the website. It's the Papa's House of Gaming website. The link is in the chat. It's a pin message. Maybe we'll throw it in there a couple more times in case you guys have dismissed the pin message. But this is one that's being voted on right now. This is Geezer. I don't even know how to say that, but Gears, also known as Turtle Shell. Okay, got it. I've seen that name. Love this red, white, and blue America livery going on here. And then we got Jeffrey in the Aston Martin Vulcan, cool livery. Shaggy Doo goes replica livery. This is the Formula One Aston Martin livery. Ooh, I almost said Audi. Ecstasy is going to be in that Juarez just playing. I was looking at this Budweiser livery of Angry Fredbird. Gotta love that. Nice. Being voted on. So put in your favorite votes, of course. This is a really good Bud livery on a car that really just doesn't look aged, does it? Jim, are you familiar with the Pagani Huayra?
I've seen it. I've never driven it. We don't have it on iRacing, but
Heard. It's a stunning car and very stunning to see in person. And I'm pretty sure these came out in like 2012 or something like that, 2013, something around that range. And they don't really look like it. They don't look out of place with the rest of these newer cars. Yeah, that's keeping it cute. Sorry, go ahead, Jim.
no, I was gonna say some designs are just timeless.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you've just created a sculpture and it works out. So far people are setting their times. We got Ecstasy up front with a 151.1, Vetter Dan behind him with a 152.4, and then RTS Bandit in third with Nasty in third with a 153.8. I'm gonna give it a pause and let more people set a time though. I think only 4 so far across the line, now 5. Ooh, and a bit wide there for Flora. Who is Florinidia? How do you say that? You just left the Florinoda. Got it. You just set a record. Now we can look at times. They got Florinoda up front with a 149.1. Big jump there. Ecstasy remains in second now with a 151.1. Still, Vetter Dan had that 52.4 in third, and Orca with a 53.8. Top 5's still pretty spread out. I think that second lap is where we're really going to see. But we're looking at what happened here with Orca. I think he was just kind of in the way. I think Florinoda just came up a little bit quicker than he expected. He still ended up going to pole position, provisional pole, rather, even with that bad final corner, though it will probably affect this lap, obviously, since on that front straight, he won't have gotten a good time. Jeffrey jumps up to second with a 149.5, so we're starting to see closer times. Shaggy's got a 150.4 in here. These will be final laps for folks, I think. Well, actually, Shaggy looks like he might still be on a flyer, so he's going to get another chance here. Fourth to eighth, pretty spread out. We're looking at a 151 to 154 delta here as these cars try to finish up that second lap around here. It's such a tough track. I don't even know this track, but I know it's a tough track. Pretty technical. There's a sequence of corners. I really love seeing people flow through those S's. Jim, you said that this track is not an iRacing, which I'm very surprised at. I just feel like iRacing has all the tracks.
Yeah, this is one that for some reason or another they haven't been able to scan it.
These are gears was in the wall there, I think. I don't know if that's on purpose because he's done, or if it was not at all on purpose. Looks like maybe he's parking. You got to do the cool parking thing. No, he's letting somebody drive by so he could get back in with a safe rejoin. We'd love to see it. Have we seen any changes up top?
Vetter Dan in fifth. He was not able to get another lap down under his belt. Or he was, I'm sorry, but he couldn't improve on his times. Same with Meadow in sixth.
Got it. So they're not necessarily safe. I don't know if anyone is still running. Ecstasy looks like he's going slow. I think he's done. Shaggy Doo is already up ahead of Vetter Dan in Metal. So just looking to see if he can jump up higher on that. Maybe jump into the first row here. Is that not track limits? Beyond the track?
So on some corners of this track, the track limits are a little bit lenient, but for most of these corners, it is pretty strict. But on that one specifically, it is not. Drivers can run all the way up to the wall.
Got it. Yeah, he definitely used all of it. He did not improve his time, though. So we'll do the rundown real quick. He got Florinoda on pole with a 149.193. Jeffrey is going to be on the same row with a 149.5. Shaggy Doo in the third spot with a 150.476. Ecstasy will be next to him with a 151.1. In the next row, we got Vetterdan with a 152.470. Metal will be next to him with a 153.477. Next row starts with Orca, that 153.8, and then Nasty with a 153.855. So those two pretty close in time. Angry Fredbird will has a 153.9, starting in 9th place. Rather, RTS Bandit next to him, also in a Y row with a 154.1, and then Geezer Gears, who we saw unfortunately get into the wall on his second lap, starts all alone in that last row with a 154.5. It begins. Oak, Jim, are we any predictions for this race? I don't know that I saw anything that made me think I could make a prediction about who's going to do well and who's not.
For my prediction, I think the Vulcans are going to run away with this one, as we see all Vulcans all the way up till the top 3. So I do think that they might have the slight edge against the rest of the field. And it is looking like Florinoda is gonna. I think he might, depending on if he could keep it on track and limit the penalties, I think he might be able to run away with this one. But obviously he's got Jeffrey right behind him, starting right next to him. So it's gonna be a fun one for sure.
Yeah, and I think they both had 49, so the time isn't too dissimilar between the two. So yeah, it is going to be about whether or not he can get away with from Jeffrey, or if they can get away together. Jim, you said you mostly race Indy cars. So I don't know that IndyCar does a lot of road tracks, to be honest. I think there are a couple on the schedule, right?
Oh yeah, it's a mix. For a long time, well, during the IRL years, of course, it was very oval heavy. In fact, they ran all ovals for a few years, but now it's actually leans a little more road course heavy. They like the street circuits, though. You know, their biggest outside of obviously the Indy 500 is like Long Beach and Detroit are a couple like really popular races for them. So yeah, okay. It takes both. You gotta be good at both disciplines.
You know, I don't think I realized that. Maybe I'm missing out on IndyCar and I need to start watching it. I watched the 500 for the first time ever just a couple of years ago, and it was incredible. But I've never gotten into IndyCar, so I've been missing out. Sounds like.
Yeah, give it a watch. It can be pretty exciting, and yeah, the Indy 500 is great. I'm from Indianapolis. I've actually been to like 28 of the last 30 Indy 500s. So.
That's amazing. That's awesome. I've never been to Indy, but the lights are up. They're about to go out. We've got Florinoda revving that thing out, so he ain't worried about gas. And a great launch for pretty much everyone. Whoa, Vetterdan in the Veneno. Wow. That thing is insane. What just happened? He's got the outside for turn 1, but he had already cleared everyone. XTT has also jumped up into 2nd and put Florinoda down to 3rd place. Shaggy Doo up to 4th, Metal to 5th. Jeffrey fell down to 6th place there, so a very bad launch for him. He got Bandit and Orca behind them. I can't tell what's going on behind, but Vetterdan with an incredible jump in the Lambo. He's already going defensive. Florinoda coming back on him in the corner, in the hairpin there, and Vetterdan gets a little bit of a tap to the outside, but that thing has got some legs in a straight line. It didn't matter. He hit the gas and he got away anyway. Estes showing that the Wyra is powerful, and he remains in 2nd place there between those two cars. What just happened here? A little bit of a bump. We're looking at Florinoda. Yeah, he just went wide in the hairpin. Maybe just a little bit of elbow rubbing, but he could have kept it a bit tighter if possible. Fortunately for everyone involved, it didn't ruin anyone's race, but look at Vetterdan get away in that straight. I don't know if they have any answer for the Lambo in the straights.
You know, I do think that the Lamborghini's all-wheel drive system is definitely superior against the other cars who are, I think, in the rear-wheel drive cars. So, you know, it's great to see that Vetterdan was able to capitalize with that all-wheel drive system. And it's nice seeing him in the lead of this race, I think, having starting 6th. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, having started 6th. And you know what? I don't think I realized that all the other cars are rear-wheel drive. You are right. I see the Ferrari is for sure. I do look the Wyra was. So that launch absolutely makes sense. I think he's also just got some straight line speed there that's really showing up, though he hasn't quite lost this path. Yeah, Ecstasy is right there with him. Florinoda. Jeffrey's back up to fourth, so he's been making some passes and doing some work. Shaggy Doo in fifth remains there, and behind them there's not too much action that I saw, but there's a good bit of action in this top 5 rank here, and they are starting to build a good gap. It's 2 seconds to Bandit and Metal. Taking a look through the order back there. Not really a big fight. Ooh, Florinoda with a move for second place. Can he make that stick and get rid of Ecstasy and attack Betterdan? No, he cannot. Ecstasy, man, he is keeping a lot of momentum going in that Wyra. I do wonder if he's slowing these guys up, or do we think it's just that he's got an advantage in some parts of the track and a disadvantage in others? Jim, what do you see? I mean, you've got all the experience.
Well, I don't know that I have all that much experience, but yeah, it looks like they're in a pretty tight pack here, and they have to, they're trying to race hard, but they definitely don't want to wreck each other. So, when you have to go offline a little or break a little bit early, sometimes it throws off your rhythm, and guys get bottled up. So, looks like they're starting to get sorted out here again now.
It does, and you're right, because all of that argy-bargy definitely created a bigger gap between Vetter and Ecstasy. He's managed to stay up front. The back and forth trying to vie for positions has changed here, but I think the drivers and the Vulcans are just being a bit impatient with that Wyra. Oh, and a big slide for Shaggy Doo. Oh, I was like, please get out of it. He finally got out of it and got that thing straightened back up, and Florinoda a little impatient through these turns. Maybe seeing the mistake and thinking it's his turn to capitalize, but you've got to be patient. You can't just bump and run and get folks out of the way here. So maybe still a bit of bumping and shaking. I think Florinoda a bit frustrated of having lost all those positions at the beginning. Do you have any advice for him just calming down and getting back up into it? Because he's starting to lose the top 3 now.
I do think that I think these drivers should start seeing to maybe work with each other, to maybe ease off the pressure with each other. I do think all this fighting is definitely costing their tires, their fuel, everything. So, definitely, I think these drivers should definitely focus on, working together, trying to bump draft each other, try to catch up to the first place driver.
Well, I see Ecstasy. I don't know if he's just trying to keep Jeffrey out of his slip. I guess he is. I think those Vulcan drivers are, cooperation would be great, but I think they've just got the advantage in the corners, and they're like, we can chase Betterdan down. You're gonna lose this guy, but honestly, I think he's only losing him because they keep trying to fight him. Nasty takes a Joker lap, so that was a chicane. That's one of 3 Joker sections in the race or on the track. 2 seconds, by the way, for Betterdan over Jeffrey. He's now in second place. Shaggy Doo in third. Florinoda, Ecstasy's down to 5th. Something happened. Do we have a replay? Whatever happened, I do think he was getting pushed out wide by pretty much everybody. Oh, you missed it. We missed it. Sorry. But yeah, well, Ecstasy down to 5th, and I don't think the Wyra has what it takes to pass the Vulcans. Those things are wide as hell. Very easy to make that a huge car in the corners, and I think the advantage he had was really in the launch out of slow corners. It's not going to be enough to get these guys, I don't think. And now Jeffrey really able to attack Betterdan. This is kind of what we expected, is that the Vulcans would catch right back up to the Lambo. Florinoda, was that a penalty maybe, or did he?
Looks like he caught some oversteer coming out of the corner exit of the final corner. I think he just got too impatient on the throttle there. As you see, yeah, just too impatient.
Good catch. Is that curve kind of, is it one of those curves that has a big crease in it, like a big change in attitude of the curbing?
Yeah, so I think the middle part of the curve actually is a little bit more bumpy than like the outside edges, but
gotcha. It looked like he was doing fine as far as throttle input, and then all of a sudden it was Spin City there for the wheels. We just saw, who was it? Shaggy Doo, I think, just took a Joker. What do you see? What's the
looks like Angry Fedbird in 8th. It looks like he had a big moment there with Metal down the straight. Looks like they just got a little bit tangled up there. I think Metal was taking a Joker lap. I could be
Good
wrong.
call. And Metal does have his turn signal on, I think. I think it's just hard to see in that car. I think I saw it, which is the rule. You put your turn signal on to indicate you're going to take a joker. Maybe Fredbird didn't see it, but I think Metal might be in the right there. That's just unfortunate for both of them. That is... So I was wondering about this. Yeah, so Metal was off to the right, starting the joker, and the rule is that he has to stay off to the left. He can't just cross the track. I think he was trying to round off the corner and, get through there on the actual racing line, but in the Joker series, you got to stay off to the left. It is slower, but it's kind of the point of the Joker lap, and unfortunately, it resulted in an incident between those two. Better Dan has fallen down to third, guys. So we kind of missed the push for the front, but the Vulcans have been bullies since the start of this race, and we're on lap 5, so it's not surprising that he might have gotten elbowed out. Look at those front tires. I mean, nobody's tires look great as we've gone through, but Better Dan's fronts are absolute toasts. I mean, so are Shaggy Doo's up front. Look at Florida had the mediums on, so his tires are actually okay, and at this point, probably quicker than the worn softs. But yeah, Better Dan's Dunzo. What's Jeffrey look like? He's also on those medium tires, so those might start coming to life for these drivers, but they will have to pit to change compounds. But it looks like the mediums will take them very far into the race, and they may not have to get off, use the softs until they die, basically. S to C takes a joker. No incidents there. Done great. That was Orca coming up behind, I believe. Another joker, I think, here. Yes, that is Metal taking a joker. Knocks a cone over. I think those are local, so... Are they local to us? Like, nobody else will see that cone? I don't remember how the graphics work in this game sometimes. But that cone is in the way. And hopefully doesn't cause anybody to have a nice jump. Geezer Gears is into the pits.
I did see Florinota. He is in the lead of the race now. Looks like he's done an excellent job on those mediums. And also Shaggy, his front right is completely dead at this point. Looks like we'll be seeing him here in the pits pretty soon, as he does take the pit road here. Yeah,
that makes sense. You guys have had a whole lot of battling in traffic. Maybe get in the pits, hopefully come out with just clean air and those medium tires, because the first part of this race was pretty rough for the top 5, and they're all pretty separated now, having taken jokers. Some are pitting. The Shaggy, Better Dan's in, S to C is in. Florinota will stay out and see what kind of overcut he can get, or rather, no, he's on the mediums. He's not pitting anytime soon. I forgot. Neither is Jeffrey, but Jeffrey's mediums look a bit worse as he goes purple in the, I think that's the first sector there. He's going to take that hairpin and get out, but I don't think Jeffrey can catch Florinota. Lots of people jumping into the pits now here. Yeah. Jim, I don't mean to leave you out of the conversation here.
No. Yeah, I'm just, it's kind of new to me, the format and, everything, especially with the Joker laps. But I am noticing definitely the tire wear, the four-wheel drive cars are definitely notoriously hard on tires. So it wasn't surprising to see him fall back there. But yeah, it looks like right now the medium tire is holding up really well on Florinota's car.
It is. We just saw Estefy have a big four-wheel drift there. But he held on to it. That Wyra, probably turbo catching him out. It's a big old motor. I think it's like a twin turbo V12 or something crazy like that. Going through the rear wheels. So not easy to control on that car. Luckily, they get the racing tires for themselves. I'm surprised we haven't seen anyone having like moments just around the cars not being drivable, Oak. I mean, we've seen some people get into it with each other, but I haven't seen anyone like spin it under braking or anything like that, unless I just missed something.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few drivers make a couple of track limit mistakes here and there, maybe just going wide on the exits, but I haven't seen anything too major, like things like spinning or hitting walls or anything like that. So I'm quite surprised with how they've been able to like adapt to these cars, as well as just being able to just drive it with such precision as well.
100%. With that said, though, every name in here is pretty much a veteran that I've seen race and do really, really well. I think I just saw somebody spinning, but maybe it was just a joker lap. But Jeffrey has a half-second penalty. He's going to have to serve. So in his quest to catch up to Florinoda, he's just going to fall a little bit behind here. Oh, and Florinoda with another spin, another on-throttle spin. This one was not due to a curb. He was just alone. I think maybe taking a joker and just got a little overzealous on the gas there. You had mentioned a lack of rear downforce in some of these cars, which is ironic because the wing on that Vulcan is basically the size of a dinner table.
No, for sure is. I'm quite surprised, honestly, because the Vulcan seems like the more track-ready car. So it's surprising seeing how much of a struggle it is to keep that rear in place sometimes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think with a wing that size that even low-speed corners, you'd get a little bit of help on that rear, but maybe that one was too low speed. I don't know. But yeah, it's a little bit surprising, but he remains in first place. We'll see where he comes out after pitting. There's the curb that caught him out, or no, sorry, it's the next curb that caught him out a couple of laps ago, but you can definitely see how those curbs disturb the car when you go over them. Gotta be real careful. Orca sits in third place, also on mediums, so everyone on mediums has not come in just yet. There's Vetterdan, who's on his fresh mediums here, who was, I believe, in third when everyone pitted, maybe fourth when everyone pitted, so right now sitting where he was before, but of course you've got those two cars at mediums ahead of him. Who's that going slow? Florinoda?
Yeah, it looks like I think he got reset on track. Yeah.
Wrong joker, maybe? Let's see what happens here. So he's coming through the S's. He got reset. You can't take that. That is not one of the joker sections, I believe, because of that reset there. So there he is taking the right one. I can see why he made the mistake. They look similar. So that's unfortunate. He's going to come out of that joker in third, but we're going to see where he actually is a little bit later in this race, because that definitely hurt him, along with the almost spin. I mean, he just had a few moments, but surprisingly remains up front. Jim, you just like hate drivers like that, where you watch their race and they mess up a million times but still like win it.
Yeah, I don't know how those guys are. Yeah, there's guys I race against like that. They're so much faster that they can spin a couple times, and I'll still never see them on track. But not much. Yeah, it is what it is. There's always somebody out there that's faster, so you just gotta accept it and run your best and enjoy it.
You do. There are days where you just feel real confident and somebody absolutely humbles you. There's a track on here on Gran Turismo called Dragon Trail, and it's a fictional track. Doesn't really exist, but Oak will know about this. There is a chicane named the Chicane of Death in there, and it's awful. It's like a bus stop chicane, but the last corner of the bus stop is where you really go to die, because the walls are very close. And I was racing against several friends, but one friend in particular slammed into the wall there. And when you slam into the wall there, it's a stop. If it doesn't completely send you backwards, it's a full stop. Happened to him twice in a 5-lap race, very short race. And he still finished 15 seconds ahead of me in the race. And that's how I knew I'm slow.
Ouch.
Yeah,
I've been there.
A 5-lap race, and I think laps around there aren't even 2 minutes. It was a shame. Where are we now? We've seen some more pit stops. The folks on the mediums are starting to get off of them. We're in the last half of the race here. Lap 9 is what we're working. Shaggy Doo, we were just with S to C's in 4th. I'm going to start from the top, actually. Jeffrey must not have pitted. He's in first place. I know he was on those mediums. He's running long. Better Dan's in second place, who is already pitted, we saw. So, good job on Better Dan to come back out in second. But he's 10 seconds behind Jeffrey. Lots of room for other cars to slot in between. Shaggy Doo is in third place, so back up towards the sharp end of the field. I already talked about Ecstasy. Orca remains in 5th. He was also on mediums, but as you can see, they're pretty dead on Jeffrey's car. The front right, I would imagine Orcas don't look much better back there. So both of them gonna pit probably very soon. Oh, Orca did pit. Okay, so Orca's in 5th with the fresh mediums, or with the fresh softs now, so my bad. Florinoda just came out. He comes out behind Orca. He'll be on softs as well.
It's just gonna.
One lap
I
faster,
think.
maybe. Softs.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's just gonna come down to pure driver pace at this point for both Orca and Florinoda.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's because they've got the same car, same tires, so it's really all about them now, trying to lock in and put some good corners in.
Yeah, well, Florinoda will have the advantage there being in the slipstream, or a little bit. You know, it's easier to defend than it is to pass, so we'll see. We just saw Jeffrey pit. He's going to be on the soft tires now. We'll see where he comes out. Vetterdan right now, provisionally, sitting in first place. He's taking a Joker lap as we speak. Very nice and neat through there. Actually took it a lot quicker than you would imagine through that really tight chicane area there. And Shaggy Doo remains behind him in second place. Shaggy was really fighting desperately in the first part of the race there. Jim, as you can see, these cars, we're okay with a little bit of door banging and the like. Ooh, and Florinoda, was that on purpose? I mean, if it was a good Scandi flick, but I don't know what they through there.
I did notice that Florinoda did get reset again because he ended up taking the wrong Joker yet again. So he did get reset, and he's falling quite a ways back from Orca now.
Yeah, he is. Man, that really sucks. Sorry,
I
Jim,
hate when that
I got
happens.
interrupted by
No,
seeing
this track is one of those that the color, something about the color, everything. So many of the corners look the same, and unless you're
Sure.
like really familiar, it's one of those tracks you can get lost on.
Agreed, and it's a pretty long track. I mean, these aren't slow cars, but the lap around here is almost 2 minutes for these cars. So yeah, it's a long track with a lot of small cuts and a lot of different layouts, being a more modern track, and ultimately I think this is a Herman Tilke track, which that's been the complaint of like tracks designed by or redesigned by Herman Tilke, is that they're kind of boring and a lot of the corners are the same, or at least look and feel the same. So if this is a Tilke track, I can definitely see why he would think each Joker is the right Joker, but it's not. Vetterdan with some traffic here. I don't know if there are blue flag rules in play in this league, but I don't see that Geezer Gears is really trying to jump out of his way, but it doesn't matter. Vetterdan attempts a Joker, but I think he mowed the lawn. Can we get a replay of that? Because I thought I saw grass getting kicked up there. Let's see what happens. So there's Geezer Gears, and he cuts across the track, and yep, he sure does miss the turn in there. Does a little bit of yard maintenance for Marina. Now, does that count, or does he have to do that Joker again? Oh, do you know?
I think, yeah, it does count, even though it was partially on the grass, but it does still count, even, you know, with this being an exhibition race. The rules are a little bit lenient, so yeah, I think that counts in my book.
All right, cool. You know, you like it. I love it. I wish it worked that way at the bus stop chicane in Daytona, and maybe one day it will. I feel like if I run through it, it should count. Like, don't give me a penalty. It counts.
I'll take that.
Chicane. Ooh, battle for first. Shaggy Doo with mediums that are starting to wear out. Jeffrey pitted way more recently. He's got the pressure rubber and he's on the soft. So yeah, I think this is going to be a done deal. Shaggy may do his best to try to defend against him, or decide it ain't worth it. Let me try to salvage what I can. Jeffrey going purple there in that lap. That was a 150.077 for Jeffrey. So he's got the fastest lap right now. But he's kind of stuck behind Shaggy. This isn't an easy track to pass in. There are only a few opportunities, some slower corners. Oh, Shaggy's taking Oh gosh, Shaggy, I think signaled to take a Joker maybe, or to let Jeffrey pass, and that almost ended up in tears. I'm not sure if there was contact. It just looked like there was. Oh yeah, I think there was. Jeffrey giving the position back. I don't see any reason why he would have done that if he hadn't hit Shaggy. Yeah.
Great sportsmanship shown by Jeffrey, even with the contact there. Giving back the position and letting him through, and he lives to fight another day in this battle for first place.
Absolutely, and you know what? I wouldn't expect anything less. We're all friends here. So many of these people have been racing together for a very long time. You know, a good while. So I don't see any reason why, especially in an exhibition race, that anyone would be a bad word and not give the position back in that situation. Jeffrey was not the greatest line through that cutback, just trying to maybe double apex it, but didn't quite get the second apex, but he's still catching up to Shaggy. Look at how much later he can brake, almost dangerously. So he's going to have to pick his spot and recognize that Shaggy will be backing his corners up as those front tires have worn out. And Jeffrey, of course, will not want to waste his softs, because who knows who's coming behind him. I don't know if he still owes a Joker, or if he's in good shape right now. It's hard to keep up when you got to take 3 of them in a race. But we're going to keep an eye on this battle for first here. Shaggy's doing a great job of holding him off, and he's not even really defending. He's just on the racing line. It's just hard to pass here. So good luck, Jeffrey. Ooh, another battle. That is Florinota trying to get around Vetterdan. Very, very familiar battle. This is how we kind of started the race here a little bit. Florinota was like in 4th place trying to get at Vetterdan. Shaggy with the reset. That had to be a reset. Did he take the wrong Joker?
Yeah, I think that might have. There's one specific Joker that just keeps resetting people, either if that's, you know, maybe people are getting lost on the track, but yeah, and it looks like, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely that one. Oof. You gotta watch the video, guys. Sal takes the time to make these and make sure you're good to go. But, you know, now's the time to mess it up, right? That first race, figure it out so you can win the last race and get a 4D Racewear custom jersey. Actually, that's for the livery. For winning the race, what did we get for winning the race? You get a trophy. You get a trophy. But you know what? Get a 4D Racewear custom jersey anyway, because you deserve it. FTC back up front, if you can believe it. This wasn't on my bingo sheet here, but STT back up front with 2 Vulcans chasing him down again. You got Jeffrey still chasing Shaggy Doo down, even with the reset. I do believe Shaggy still will owe a Joker, though, since he was trying to take 1. He believes he owes 1, and he missed that one. It's got to happen within the next couple of laps here, so maybe Jeffrey will inherit 2nd place, but I'm sure he would prefer to, rather than inherit it, he'd like to earn it so we can go chase down first. At least that's what I'd be thinking. I don't care about your stupid little Joker lap. I need to get around.
And the state of the tires now for Jeffrey is definitely an eye-opener now. With him being on the softs, it's gonna be tricky now trying to hold on to them for this final lap. And they do have SSC in front as well, so they might be able to make something happen here as we see Shaggy going for his Joker lap. Let's see if he takes the right one this time.
Okay, got it. I think I saw still a little bit of a bump there.
Looking like he doesn't
get it.
He did get reset yet again. Shaggy
got reset again. Well, that right there wasn't him trying to take a Joker. That was just him holding on to the inside line and not quite being able to keep his speed. I think Jeffrey able to get around him really quickly. It didn't feel like Shaggy was taking I don't think that was a reset, but now he's slow on the track again. And I can't tell what happened.
I think at this point he's just trying to find the right Joker to take.
I think that's what it was too. I think he just slowed down to see if this was the one, and it wasn't. STC is going to take this home after getting up front early on in the race, and then just losing that position. Just, you know, had a lot of pressure coming from behind, and now gonna finish up this race pretty strong. I think just a few more corners left. Jeffrey desperate to get there, and he has closed it up under the braking. That was insane right there. But can he do something in like literally, what is it, 3 corners, maybe to the end here? Ecstasy taking off. That Wyra did show some legs early on with the Vulcan. I think you just got to be careful on the throttle with the Vulcan here. And Ecstasy is not as careful with the Wyra. He crosses the line in first with Jeffrey right on his tail, and look at the gap to Florinoda in third, who still maintains his space on the podium despite having a lot of issues in the race. Vetterdan will take 4th place. Orca is in 5th. Nasty will cross in 6th place with his booty sweat livery. We love seeing the booty sweat livery on the various cars he puts it on. Ooh, yeah. What is turning? Never heard of her. That front right, absolutely finished. He manages to make this left-hand turn, kind of, sort of. Metal is right behind him with Angry Fredbird, but I don't think they stand a chance to get
Metal
up.
get it.
Unless he's got another left to make. Ooh, Metal's looking for it.
So do you
Metal
guys
is
get,
looking for it. He's trying to go around the outside. It's too far around the outside, I think. Is it? It is not. Metal with the surprise finish in 6th place. Drives around Nasty. Angry Fredbird gets around Nasty too. We're going to look at Bandit. He's going to cross the line alone. Geezer Gears has already taken the checkered flag. He's not really going to finish that last lap. But that was a good pass at the end there. I wasn't expecting to see that.
yeah, that's
He's
quite
our
a move.
winner. Oh, yeah, with the Big 40 Racewear logo right on the bottom there. Congratulations, Ecstasy, on winning this first round. Jim, welcome to your first Joker race, I guess, in the booth. How was that for you?
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. That was some good racing there for sure.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to put you to work. Do you mind reading our results?
Sure, I can give it a go. I'll probably get some of these names wrong, but yeah, it looks like your winner, first place here is Ecstasy. Second, Jeffrey. Third place, Florinoda. That wraps up your podium there. Then 4th, we got Vetter Dan, followed by Orca in 5th, Metal in 6th, and Angry Fredbird, Angry Fredbird in 7th, and the Nasty car in up in 8th.
Got 3 more.
Oh yeah, there we go. Then we got Bandit in 9th, and sorry, what was this? Geezer Gears. Yeah, that's that's an interesting one. Geezer Gears in 10th, and Shaggy in 11th.
Yep, Shaggy did not finish. Looks like he's got a DNF next to his name. Thanks, Jim. I did that because I'm a bully. Appreciate you.
No worries.
Well, that was a great race there. Man, I did kind of wacky. Somebody in chat said it was wacky. Jeffrey did. It absolutely was. Folks struggling to find their Joker laps. Shaggy, I hope to see you come back. But oh, he says this is it for him. All right, Shaggy, there's a video. Maybe you can learn it real quick. We'd love to see you back. You're such a fast racer. I love seeing you in these races. But let's pick our driver of the race. Oak, I'll start with you. Who did you like in that race?
I think my driver of the race is definitely Ecstasy. You know, he pulled through all the grits and all the driver mistakes that everybody was making, and he pulled through and he was able to win it in the unique car for sure. It wasn't a Vulcan, so.
Yeah, agreed. Great drive by him. Jim, do you have anybody that caught your eye?
Well, I was gonna say, Ecstasy had a really good race. He was kind of off the radar for most of the race, and then just showed up at the end, and just goes to show that strategy is always important. But I also got to give a shout out there to Jeffrey for that pass at the end.
Yeah.
Or was that Jeffrey? Sorry,
No,
that
was Jeffrey. That was Metal.
Somebody else. Okay, sorry. Well, we'll give a shout out to Metal for that pass, because that was quite a move. Just holding on to it there on the outside and getting 2 cars there on the last lap.
Yeah, that was absolutely sick. I loved it. I think my driver of the race, man, you guys picked the good ones. Those 2 good ones. Jeffrey, for sure. That launch was terrible. He ended up in 6th place by like the end of the first sector, and got right back up to 2nd place where he started the race in the first place. And sometimes that's all you can ask for. It's to not lose out. So you guys in the chat, you guys will get a chance to vote for your driver of the race as well. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll find out what those results were for you.
Gotta burn it up in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. The Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, yeah. Burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Stealing sparks, we're dancing with the flame. Every corner's deadly, but we play the game. Joker's rules, no mercy, no disguise. See the hunger for the win in every driver's eyes. Wreckage in the rear view, ghosts on my tail. Push the throttle harder, I was born to fail. No brakes, no mistakes, just a rebel's heart. Joker series rips the world apart. Truth is I'm wired, adrenaline's my vice. Risk it all, roll the dice, pay the price. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Joker's got me hooked, no time for rest. Gotta burn it up in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Crash and burn, spin out, lose control. Joker's laughing, it's a fight for my soul. Blood on the track, sweat in my eyes. Keep on racing till the day that I die. Faster, harder, break the line. Still the crowd is towards high time. Joker's chaos is the only way. Live for the race, so tomorrow, today. Gotta burn it up in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down, yeah, till the engines fry. Joker series, where the fearless fly. Burn it down, yeah, till the finish line. In the chaos, we're alive. We shine.
Pedal down, heartbeat rising, no retreat, no compromising. Every second sparks ignite, push it harder, cut the night. Closer now, the light is burning. Every turn, the tide is turning. Risk it all, I feel alive. This is the moment I arrive. I'll break the line, I'll cross the fire, ride the speed. I'm climbing higher, no holding back. The world is mine. One last lap, I'll break the line.
Hey guys, so we're back. We appreciate you for waiting. I hope you guys got a bathroom break in before this next race. Let's start with the results from the driver of the day poll. It does look like Ecstasy won that with 55% of the vote. We have to agree. Jeffrey took 36% of the vote in second place, and Metal with 9% of the vote in third place because of that pass. You gotta love it there. So everyone getting, some votes in there. Thank you guys for participating. That last race, Oak, we were saying off camera, it was insane. That was a lot of action happening and trying to figure out what's happening and who's taking what jokers. Do you think that we'll do a better job this time around with folks taking their joker lap correctly?
Yeah, I think drivers they should be now acclimated to what the track offers them, especially those joker laps. They should be now familiar where they are and not get reset. So yeah, I do hope to see, a little better, recognition of where they are. And yeah, I hope the race is also like it was last time as well.
I agree with that. I had to just take a quick look over here because I'm in the lobby. I wanted to see if anybody new had joined who might not know, but it's if anything, we've lost a few people, but everyone who's left should have it now. Hopefully we'll see. If they don't, it kind of makes it interesting, right? If they mess it up anyway. You guys will notice that the YouTube what you would call it poll has changed to the livery voting. There was an issue with the original livery voting system, so we are moving it here to YouTube. If you haven't voted yet, please do, and even if you have, vote again for the person that you like. I don't know, Sal won't know. Hopefully Sal won't know. And then I think, was there anything else we were supposed to comment on before we start the next race? Or I guess we can talk about the prizes again. Let's talk about the round info there. Let's see what's up with this next one. Looks like 14 laps again. It's the second of 2 exhibition races tonight. So you got 14 laps. 3 jokers need to be taken through the race, not per lap, through the race. Tire wears at 2x with the racing softs and mediums required, and we did see that they all burn away pretty quickly on this track. Fuel burns at 2x with the refuel rate at 3 liters per second. Damage is light, so those accidents don't cost you too much. We got 6 cars available. We saw, I think, 3 different ones in that last race, but you got the 296 GTB, you got the Aston Martin Vulcan, you got the Bugatti Chiron, you've got the Pagani Huayra, you've got the Lamborghini Veneno, and then the Porsche 918 Spider is also available. One of my personal favorites. I hope we see that on track soon. Oh, do you like any of these cars at all?
In terms of driving, I do think that, there's no really car that I'd take. All these cars are obviously amazing in real life and amazing to drive. Like in the game, I'm saying. But if it was down to me personally, in terms of my favorite car, my favorite brand and stuff like that, I think I'd take the 918 Spider, just because it's, that car has always stuck with me since I was, a younger kid. And it's just nice to see it in the game. And, if I was these drivers, that's the car I would pick, only because it is one of my favorite cars.
You know what? I'm with you. And, the 918 Spider has been around for a good bit. I can't even remember how long ago Porsche built that thing, but still iconic and still looks amazing. It literally just looks like a car from today. So many of these cars do, but the 918 Spider, 2013, it looks like, is when that dropped. So it has been around forever. I had the privilege of seeing one in real life a few years ago at a car show here in Georgia at not Road Atlanta, but the other one, the other Atlanta racetrack, and it was gorgeous. The owner had it sent back to Porsche to have it completely rebuilt. Mind you, I can't think of a single 918 Spider that's probably been driven enough to need a rebuild, but he had it done, had it painted this gorgeous shade of green that they had, and I was just like, this is car fan heaven, like right here, this vehicle right here. I hope to see one again. Hopefully, get to take a ride in one. That'd be nice. Be super
Cars are
sick.
beautiful for sure.
Yeah, gorgeous car. We're still waiting to start this thing. Maybe waiting on a few more people to join. I think I saw another name jump in, but maybe I'm tripping. I think Bandit might have left and come back, but Bandit's in there now. Yeah, Porsche 9138 Spiders. What else? Have you seen any of the other cars on this list in person yet? Nice to collect in person looks, you know?
Really, the 918 is the only one I've really seen. Actually, I did see it. I did see the 296. I've seen many 296s on the roads and stuff, but the 918 is definitely the more exotic one that I've seen before. I haven't seen any Bugattis or Paganis or anything like that. I did see one Bugatti Veyron in Miami, but that was definitely an experience. But
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, nothing as of crazy.
See some crazy stuff there.
hmm
So we're gonna get going real soon on this one. We got 4 people racing. Hopefully they keep it close and nice and tight. Honestly, with so many opportunities to have moments on the racetrack, I'm curious to know how this is gonna go. Again, hopefully these drivers remember where their Joker laps are. We'll see. It was a fun race last time around, and I'm hoping for another one this time around. At our what are we calling this? The Billionaire Club race or Billionaires Club? Which, yeah, this seems about right with these cars at this track on a private track day. At night, at that, you know, we're paying a little overtime, a little second, third shift for the track workers. Definitely the Billionaire race here. If Fred doesn't win, it's rigged, according to Slow-Mo, Fred's brother. Of course you would think that. We'll see. Fred, you gotta win it now. Otherwise, you know, Sal's honor will be called into question. Can't have it. There's Ecstasy, our last race winner, coming out of the pits. Let's see what this livery is. He's in the Vulcan this time, and that is sick. It's a 40 Racewear livery. And we lost Jim. Oh, he needed to see this.
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah, it sucks, but hopefully he'll see it on the replay or Sal will send it to him. Joker Racing for Vetterdan, that green and purple livery, more Joker. Booty Sweat is being voted on, the Booty Sweat Vulcan livery by Nasty, so love to see it. Y'all get your votes in, by the way, and I think the next one would be Angry Fredbird. No, Jeffrey's Wyra. Jeffrey still needs to be voted on, but he's in the pit, so we can't see it. So let's have another look at Booty Sweat. Love the bronze wheels with the red. That's always a good look. Jeffrey is coming out. Check out that cool Wyra interior. You can't miss it when you see one. You immediately know it's a Pagani, quite frankly. And Monster Energy. We got some pretty cool, almost 90s like graphics. The Zonda on the rear fender there. Logitech also sponsoring, and of course NVR, the racing team. And then you got a little Joker somewhere. I think I saw Jokers on the hood. Yes, little Joker logos. So he's hit all the marks. Definitely, again, get your votes on. Slow-Mo says I wasn't supposed to read that on stream. I'm reading this on stream. I'm reading all of it on stream, Mo. Nasty, half-second penalty, but I think that's okay on this outlap. Or where do you take the penalties here? Does it ruin your next lap?
Yeah, unfortunately. So the penalty line is on one of the big straights on the track. So you do lose quite a bit of time with it. On the outlap is not the best because it is your first flying lap with the best tires.
Fair.
Yeah, so it's definitely not great.
Well, we'll see how it works out for him. It's a 5-minute quali, but I think we saw folks get 2 fast laps, and maybe a couple of them got 3 if they came out early enough. Jeffrey will not be one of those. He came out pretty late. Oh no, it was Nasty with the penalty though, I believe. So Nasty did come out kind of early. He's still carrying it, and this is his first flyer, so that will affect his first chance. Hopefully he takes this lap easy. Just get those tires warmed up and make that second one count. Vetterdan won't have the launch he did in that last race. He's in the Vulcan this time around, but I don't think anyone on the track right now has a launch, will have an advantage. God, I could not think of the word advantage there. Sorry. I think we'll be fine with the launch this time around. Jeffrey is the only one in the different car. We saw S to C take that Wyra to the very top in this last race. Do you think it matters if Jeffrey qualifies well, or is it okay if he starts from the back? I couldn't really tell what the Zonda's performance was like, mano y mano and making passes.
I think the Pagani it's okay. I mean, it's got the power, definitely. I think more power than the Vulcan, having those two big turbos on it. Honestly, I think with the practice, or not with the practice, but with the couple laps that I've done, it does seem that the Vulcan and the Pagani are the closer of cars on this track. Yeah, it just seems like the Vulcan does have a little bit more downforce, which aids it in the corners. But yeah, they're on par pretty much almost.
For sure. The Vulcan has more horsepower, 820 horsepower versus 730. So
Interesting.
that
I did
almost
not know that.
100 more horses. Yep. But torque is where the Wyra really kills it. The Wyra's got a 6-liter V12, so pretty long stroke on that, I would imagine, and it makes 811.8 pound-feet of torque. The Vulcan also is a V12, actually, and a bigger V12. I didn't even expect that. It's a 6.9-liter V12, but somehow only makes 590.4 pound-feet of torque. Maybe that's a typo, because that's insane in comparison, but those are the numbers from the Gran Turismo wiki. It weighs 3,000 pounds, and so does the Wyra. So I'm trying to figure out where is that acceleration benefit. It's got to be the torque, got to be.
Yeah.
The Wyra's also got a 7-speed transmission versus the Vulcan 6, so maybe a little bit more of a low end, not low end, but like low speed advantage, just being able to get that car to stay in the power band a little bit longer than the Vulcan can. Having to change gears more often should help. I'm doing a bad job of explaining this. I hope you understand. The shorter gear ratio should help. All right, checkered flag, by the way. That's the end of quali. I haven't been calling out anyone's time, but we've only got 4 people. S to C sits on pole for now, because I see Jeffrey still on a flyer, but S to C's got a 150.3. Vetterdan behind him with a 150.9. Jeffrey currently in third with a 151.5. And Nasty, remember, he had that penalty. Maybe he's on another lap too. He's got a 152 flat in 4th place here. Now, again, doesn't matter too much. There's only 3 other cars against you in this race, but we saw how hard folks were racing in the last one, and so I do think track position matters, and that's why we see Jeffrey really running that Wyra through its paces and hitting all his marks. He's gonna cross the line here with a not improvement. It's 53.4. He's 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap, so he stays in third. Well, Oak, tell us where folks are starting, please.
So in first place overall, we've got PhD S to C with a 150.3. In second place, we have Vetterdan, also in the Vulcan, with a 150.9. In third place, and rounding out our podium out of 4 people, we have Jeffrey in the Wyra with a 151.5. And in fourth, we have PhD Nasty in the Vulcan with a 152.0.
Nice, thank you. So 3 Vulcans and a Wyra. Where have we seen this? First race, early laps. It was yeah, they were bullying Nasty for sure in that Wyra, Esthethy rather. And again, he still ended up winning it. So let's see where Jeffrey ends up being the lone Pagani on the track here. We're going to start in just a couple of minutes, let everybody get a chance. Oak, I'm not going to lie. I feel like we probably should have asked for permission to jump in on controllers. I just don't see why not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be trying my best in this race. I'll be joining and see if I can maybe shake things up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But
Oh, are you really jump? I see. You did jump in.
yes, I will from the back.
All right, guys. K Naranjo is in the house. All right. Racer from the back. Do you know where the jokers are?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I just don't. The one thing I struggle on is the main straight. I don't know where the first one is, but I do know where the second one is.
Man, Sal's not gonna help you either.
I know.
Not gonna help you. Well, what are you in? Oh, you're in the Wyra as well. Okay. All right. So 2 Paganis. You decided to give Jeffrey a little help.
Yep.
You're right. Can't leave the boy alone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Give him a chance to fight back. Good luck. I mean, if you guys don't know, those of you watching, Oak is a very fast driver. So he probably won't be as bad as he's letting on. However, he will have 2 jobs here. He's got to talk to me and talk to you and race at the same time. It's not easy.
I'll try my best. I'm doing this for the sake of making it more enjoyable for everyone.
I love that.
The viewers, the racers, everybody. So.
Well, you know, I was kind of joking when I said I would jump in because I can't, obviously. Watch this screen and show what Sal shows me so I can tell you guys what's going on. Also don't know Marina. I don't know it to save my life, so I wouldn't be any good. Slow-mo tells you good luck, by the way, and Jeffrey says to follow him, so do that. That's probably a good idea. He was really fast in the last race. Jeffrey said do a flip in the car. Do a kick flip. All right. We start up again. Ecstasy this time on pole position in the Vulcan. And the lights are out. They're away. A little bit of a delayed response from everyone. A big go, go, go graphic there. Whoa. With this insane launch in the Wyra. Jeffrey probably wondering where that even came from. Oak up to P2. Trying to drive around Vetterdan. Maybe bully him into messing up his line. Yep, Vetterdan. Too much gas on that pedal there, and unfortunately loses the rear end just a little bit, but he's able to regain the position over you, Oak. What's going on? Put the pressure on, bro. 3 wide into that corner between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Jeffrey backs out of it. Ecstasy just looking at his rearview mirror, watching you guys get smaller and smaller in the background. I'm enjoying the same view. Hopefully he's actually watching the road. Vetterdan now the one trying to hold you off, Oak, and that is a pass for 2nd place by Oak. Jeffrey trying to follow you now, but unfortunately remains behind Vetterdan in 3rd place. Nasty is down to 5th place. Booty Sweat, a little bit too juicy. You've got to dry it up, get some traction. Vetterdan under attack by Jeffrey now. That Wyra showing long legs, but we have seen the Vulcan be better on the brakes than the Wyra almost every single time, and sure enough, Vetterdan beats the heck out of Jeffrey, who I think kind of outbraked himself there anyway in the Pagani. So your order so far is Ecstasy, Oak all the way up to 2nd already, because you know he was just jumping in to make it interesting or whatever. Vetterdan in 3rd. It's a Vulcan, it's a Wyra sandwich between 2 Vulcan pieces of bread. Jeffrey is the next layer of Vulcan, of Wyra rather, and then Nasty with a Vulcan. So it's a double decker. We have a double cheeseburger, guys. Really almost a Big Mac. Anyway, Ecstasy still leads it. 1.3 seconds up the road. Not quite running away with it, and maybe if folks can work together, y'all might catch him. Oak, of course, is gonna have to be a little bit careful knowing what the Wyras were doing to Ecstasy in the last race. I wonder if Vetterdan will get aggressive here or if Vetterdan will work with you. We'll see. I tell you right now, looking at the size comparison of that Vulcan to the Wyra, I wouldn't want to bump draft from that big old snout. That just feels like it's not happening. It's not going to go well. Jeffrey just took his first Joker. And I think, yep, that's Nasty taking a Joker now as well while these tires are fresh and those Jokers are quick. He comes out just beside Jeffrey. No interaction between them. That's good. very nice and neat. Nasty staying off to the left, Jeffrey to the right. You love to see the professionalism. Oak in second place, chasing Ecstasy, not quite catching up. The gap is just a little bit bigger there between them, but doing great. You can see that active arrow really working on that Wyra. Under the brakes, both flaps on the back come up evenly, but as you corner, the flaps on the front and back, you see actuate to help with the cornering. It's one of the most advanced supercars in the world at the time when it came out, and still, as you can see, still got a lot of tricks up his sleeve that I definitely don't have in my 1998 round pick.
It's definitely tough keeping up with these Vulcans. It's just the crazy cornering potential that these cars have. It's crazy hard. It had the high Wyra actually is pretty good on the straight. It's just impossible just trying to keep up in the high-speed corners and such.
I can see it because, I mean, just looking at the Vulcan, I mean, obviously you can't take a really close look. You're trying to concentrate on not letting Vetterdan take this second place away from you. Well done to get the defensive line here into the hairpin, and you should be able to squirt out of it a little bit better than him too. And sure enough, you do. Both a little bit squirrely there, but Oak does get the advantage, and because that active arrow tucks itself in, he will have, yep, as soon as that rear wing tucked in, you saw him start to take off there on Vetterdan. Ecstasy just took a joker, and that's why he's in third place now. And we're going to watch Vetterdan close up on Oak here in this twistier section, but then we're right back to a straight. And, you know, that much bigger cross section on the Vulcan, it is a much wider car. It's very obvious when you look at it, and it can't put any of its aero away. That big old wing remains, and it is static, and it causes just as much drag as it does downforce, probably. You got a huge, very slippery there. There's argy-bargy there. Anyway, you got a huge front splitter up front, scooping up a ton of air. Oak with a half-second penalty. You hate to see it, bud, but you're gonna have to serve that. And Vetterdan will get ahead of you. Look at that huge diffuser. I mean, yeah, it makes sense that in the high-speed corners and all that kind of stuff, that thing is beating you, but in a straight line, it can't do what you can do in the Wyra. That, like I said, the active arrow tucks in, makes it a real sleek, slick shape, and you run away with it with that V12, but he's keeping up. He's staying with you right there. Behind you is Ecstasy, but you got 2 seconds to Ecstasy. You took that joker. Vetterdan does make that pass on Oak there. That was kind of a beautiful pass. Oak, are you still defending, or you can talk now? Still concentrating?
Taking the joker here now.
You might as well.
Yep.
Vetterdan follows you, or sorry, Ecstasy follows you. So 2 jokers there, and so again, careful. Be safe on that gas, Oak. But you think you take a joker to get out of Vulcan traffic, and you still end up with a Vulcan right up your butt. We're gonna go to replay on the pass. You go a little bit wide there, coming out of that left-hander, and that really is what allowed Ecstasy to get the pass done there. Vetterdan, rather. I'm messing up everyone's names. But okay, you held your own. Oh, just a little mistake there, but we're not even halfway through this race. It's lap 4, and we've seen the Wyra come back before. Jeffrey sits in 5th with a half-second penalty. It's not going great so far, but perhaps he's taken a couple jokers as well. Never count Jeffrey out. Took second place in the last one. Had trouble with qualifying or improving his qualifying time in this one with the Pagani. Maybe just not quite used to that car, especially after driving the more planted Wyra. Or sorry, Vulcan. What is going on? You know what? I told Sal at the beginning of this broadcast I had not taken my Adderall today, so I'll tell you guys what I told Sal. This is the Tati you get tonight, okay? I'm gonna mess up names. I'm gonna mess up car names. I may even forget where we are. I may, you know? So as we approach turn 3 of Laguna Seca here, Oak still defending against Ecstasy and really building up a gap. I mean, you guys both took the joker at the same time. You had to serve a penalty So I don't even know how you managed to keep STC behind you. Of course, those front tires on STC's cars don't look great. I can't imagine yours look better. Oh, they do actually look significantly better. For Better Dan, they're looking not great either. But yeah, well, I got a little confused about who I was looking at, but yeah, Oak, your tires are much better than STC's tires. Just so you know, you've got more front end than this guy.
It's tough, right? I'm gonna pretty much in a pickle here. STC has actually taken one more Joker than me.
Ouch.
With him being on my bumper and doing one more Joker, it's kind of still have to take mine.
You still have to take yours, and I believe STC's also on the soft, so it's not like you're gonna pit and have a tire advantage, but you never know. We've seen resets, we have seen Vulcans have moments. I say head down, get it done. You got this. You've been holding on to second place in a race that you literally jumped in on a whim on with cars that you don't normally drive, so we're proud of you.
Thank you.
Of course. Behind STC, y'all got plenty of room. It's 23 seconds to Nasty in 4th place and Jeffrey behind him in 5th. Granted, they may be a Joker or two above you guys, or ahead of you guys. STC is going to pit, and so that pressure is gone. Maybe you can look for a bit of an overcut. Again, you don't have to pit it anytime soon. So he's going to jump onto the medium tire, and those will also be a bit more worn out when you come out. What are you thinking there now that he's pitted, strategy-wise?
With him pitting, I think I'm gonna use this time to maybe do a Joker and get it out the way without the pressure with him behind me. I'm having a bit of a hard time turning now, so I'm definitely gonna pit this lap.
Not a bad idea. Do you guys have brake balance available, by the way?
No, we do not.
Got it. So I thought I saw that it wasn't available. You didn't use your turn signal?
Yeah, that's something I gotta remember.
Doesn't count. Delete it.
Yep, I'll redo it.
Delete. Oh, and Nasty all the way around. We just caught that. Let's get the replay to see how it started. I think it didn't look like a power oversteer, but let's see. So coming out of the slow hairpin. Oh, it was power oversteer, but I would not have expected it at that point. I mean, he basically had the car straight at that point. So just speaking to the power of the torque of the Vulcan, I really think that 500 something torque figure was wrong. Let's see what Google says about the real torque figures, because that was a very surprising amount of wheel spin for a car that was basically straight. So unfortunate for him, he spins it, ends up in the wall, gonna get some front splitter damage. It is light damage, so it won't have affected him for too long, but you don't want to hit walls ever. So Better Dan up front by 19 seconds over you, Oak. Granted, you took Oak Joker. I was gonna mention his tires. I don't know how he's even getting that car to turn right now. Actually nice and neat through that first sector, but I'm guessing he's having to do it incredibly slow just to keep it on the road. But really showing adaptability. I haven't seen him miss a marker yet. He's getting his turn in, he's hitting apexes, despite his tires in the front basically being down to the cords almost. Is that Oak in the pits? It sure is going to come out on the mid-jumps in 2nd place. Jeffrey under attack by STC, who did pit a moment ago. Ooh, Jeffrey almost lost it right there, and he is battling to keep this position. The Vulcan is better on the brakes, but Jeffrey with track position here and able to maintain momentum to get around STC, and we'll have a bit of an advantage right here in the straight. And sure enough, even with STC in his slipstream, Jeffrey running away in that much more slippery Wyra, but right back on the brakes. The Vulcan gets gets right back on his bumper. So all of that accordioning, that back and forth between these two cars in particular has been great to see in both races at this point here. So Ecstasy in last place, desperate to get around and start fighting back up front where he was on a podium. We lost someone. Bandit? Was it? I think so. We lost someone, but right now we're looking at Vetterdan jumping in. You get a good look at his livery, guys. This is one of the liveries you can vote on. So have a great look at that Joker livery while we're in the pits here. And he's going to get a little bit of fuel in that car as well. Still fueling, still going. How much do we need? I have not paid attention to that. It comes about 71% fuel there. Oak in second. Will you come out ahead of Vetterdan? You do. You inherit first place. Now, I think this pit lane is a little tricky, and yeah, second place, and Vetterdan coming out ahead of you. Yeah, so that was a little bit tricky there. It looked like you had passed him, but Vetterdan is going to come out right ahead of Oak. Oak, what are you going to do? You're on fresher. He's on fresher tires, but your tires are warm.
Hopefully I could use this to my advantage. I don't know what tires he's on, so I'll just try my best to stick with him. I still have to do my good Joker for the laps. So
you do have to take a Joker, and I think you said he's one Joker ahead. No, that was Ecstasy. He's one Joker ahead.
Yep.
Got it. So Vetterdan, I do believe, still owes a Joker as well. As far as warm tires go, I mean, I don't know. Your advantage is in the straight line. It's not in the braking. A little bit in the accelerating. But as I say that, you get around him. So I'm going to stop being a hater because you have clearly figured that out. We got a new leader, Oak, a.k.a. K Naranjo. Do we have a replay of that? How'd you do that? Oh, there it is. Here's the replay. So, we missed it. What
so it was kind of a switchback move on him in the chicane. He kind of went a little deep, so I took advantage of that.
Nice way to take advantage of a mistake, and we've definitely seen how hard they find it to pass you once you're ahead in that Wyra. So really, it's just hanging on to it, making sure you get better corner exits. I feel like the Vulcans oversteer almost every time they're coming out of the slow corners. You know, take advantage of that. Get them nice, neat exits and get that straight line speed going. Yep, there he goes. Vetterdan squirrely coming out of that corner, and K Naranjo absolutely just demolishes him in the straight. And back on the brakes, Vetterdan gets right back there. Let's see, back here we got Ecstasy, who's gotten around Jeffrey in third. Jeffrey's struggling in this race here. We've not seen him do better than fourth, except for when he was ahead of Ecstasy, and really that's because we lost someone. I don't think he was doing much better than it was Nasty. It was Nasty who was in the race with us that we lost. So the Wyras on opposite ends of the field, first and fourth. Ecstasy taking a Joker lap now. Let's see how that turns out for him. This one feels slow, and Vetterdan gonna take the very next Joker. So Vetterdan taking a Joker as well. Ecstasy will come out behind him, and we might see a Vulcan fight here. As Oak, you will have clean air now with Vetterdan having taken that Joker. I know you have to take another. One or two more.
I have one more, so I just actually took one right now on that straight.
Nice, good way to take advantage of it. So I think that you are neck and neck with Vetterdan as far as how many Jokers you have to take. Ecstasy has taken all three, I believe, now, and he's about 8 to 9 seconds behind you. So I don't know which Joker you need to take, and if it's less than 8 to 9 seconds, I would take it now before that gap closes. Or if you think you can build more of a gap, perhaps you can build more gap and do it later. You know your pace. I don't.
My pace is definitely not the greatest in these cars, but I'm definitely trying. I still don't know where that second Joker lap or that Joker turn is, so I'll just look to my right and left and hope I come across it.
Well, I know there's two back-to-back kind of chicanes on the left-hand side in one of the straights or something. So if you haven't taken 2 back-to-back ones, the third one for you is in one of those 2. Woo! That was a little bit slippery there. That's not how you do it. Oh, it's not fast.
I know this wire got a lot of torque.
It does. What did we say? 800 something, which is insane. So you.
Okay.
All right, we just learned something. Vetterdan is taking a joker, so Vetterdan will be done with his jokers at this point. That does allow S2C to pass and take second place. That allows Jeffrey to pass and take third, but he's got a half-second penalty. Shouldn't lose him the position to Vetterdan. He's 3.3 seconds and counting ahead of Vetterdan, but he will have to take a half-second, which will slow him down. And I don't know how many jokers he's taken, but if he's done, he's not in a bad position against Vetterdan here, because again, that penalty is not going to cost him too much. And the Wyra does a pretty good job of running away from the Vulcan so far. But Oak, you've got an S2C on your ass. What are you going to do?
I'm just going to try to keep running my lines. It's definitely tough, but going off track, it gets your tires dirty, surprisingly, like quite a bit. And you pretty much lose all your grip. And it's just about not getting too overzealous on the throttle, on the brakes, everything. This is a tricky combo to master.
It is, because those joker lap sections will definitely be on dirty parts of the track as they're not normally traveled on. So that would be quite a struggle coming out of a joker lap. You're already coming out of it slowly, but then you really have to be ginger with it when you've only got 2 pieces of rubber putting down 800 something foot-pounds of torque with dirty rubber. That can't be fun at all. Yeah, best of luck to you. And it's such a narrow car. I mean, it's got wide hips, don't get me wrong. It looks like at least a 10 or 11 inch tire back there, but it ain't that much. There's only so much that you can do for grip. And now we see Oak taking his final joker lap, and it's actually one of the fastest ones, but there's S2C a little bit squirrely on the exit and tracked out too far to the right, I'd say, and almost got an S2C branded paint job.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was close. S2C picked up a bunch of dust. I didn't even know that was like programmed into the track at that point. Definitely picked up dust there, but he does get around, and now you got to chase. It's up to you to chase. S2C's tires, the fronts aren't terrible. They're not quite halfway done. They're closer to a quarter done, except that right front is closer to halfway done. Let's take a look at Oak's tires if we could. Oak, much better front tires, maybe 1/5 done, approaching a quarter done in the front, so should have much better front end bite, and only 3 laps left, so not really worth trying to save the tires for the end or anything like that, but definitely has a bit more front end grip and might have some confidence because of that. But that Vulcan is so mighty in the corners where that front grip will matter. It's hard to say what's going to happen, but Oak, I believe in you. I do.
Yep. I'll try my best.
Battle for not last. First of all, I see why Jeffrey is struggling in comparison to you. He put a rear wing on, so he is not doing the active aero thing. He does not have that straight line advantage. He's got a fixed rear wing, which I hadn't even noticed. I think front aero also not active. You must have a front splitter on there. So Jeffrey, trying to compete with those Vulcans in the high-speed corners, ends up getting passed right there by Vetterdan, unfortunately. So lost the advantage that he did have, which is straight line, in an attempt to compete in the more aero-dependent corners, and it hasn't worked out for him. So Jeffrey in not a good position. Oak, half-second penalty, chasing S2C down. That's not helpful, but we'll see how you do. How'd you pick that up? Where was it?
It was one of the fast right-hander in the first sector. I think I just got too much curb and went over the white line.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Easy to do. Hopefully you can recover quickly. Going to the comments real quick. Nasty said his gas pedal broke. Unfortunately, it's not pushing back off the bottom. So probably a spring issue there. I don't know if he's got load cell or what, but hopefully you're back at it soon, Nasty. We hate to lose you in the race. We know we were voting on your livery as well. Good looking liveries. Hopefully you come back on a controller. We'll see you in that that prize split. Ecstasy is pushing up front here to try to get away from you, Oak, and it's a little bit sloppy. I'm not gonna lie. Some of that is gonna be due to tire wear. Some of it is gonna be what we've been seeing from the Vulcan to begin with. That it seems great to drive. I mean, it's fast, obviously, but doesn't look like the most stable car on throttle for sure. So we've been seeing a little bit of struggle, but Estacy's been doing really great all night long and only has about a lap and a half left. Lap and 3/4, I guess. Just finished the first sector here. And we'll see where he ends up. I can't remember where he ended up in the last race. I want to say it was podium. Let's see, last race was... oh yeah, it was Estacy. Estacy and Jeffrey. Okay, yep. I keep thinking Nasty, but Nasty was not on the podium in the last race here. So Estacy again showing a mastery of Marina, I'm starting to think. Doing really great around here.
I've made a big mistake here. Pretty sure I'm going to run out of fuel.
Ruh-roh.
That is not the nicest of things.
Well, I mean, let's see, you weigh 2,976 pounds, which ain't too bad. I just feel like you could, if you wanted to, hop out while it's still running and like use the momentum to help you get across the line. I don't, ooh, yikes, that was close. Now you're just drifting it. You're definitely gonna run out of fuel.
Yeah, I actually quite struggled there in that section of track, and I got 0.4 liters of fuel left, so.
Yeah, that wasn't great. You might want to just take the rest of this in 7th gear.
You got a point.
You got the torque. I don't know. I don't know if you got 7th gear torque, but it'd be fun to try. Big 6-liter V12. You love to see it, honestly. I've been watching last weekend's Goodwood, the Festival of Speed live stream, and of course the Festival of Speed is always amazing, but one of the Shadow Can-Am cars, one of the UOP cars from back in the 70s was running, and I kind of forgot the specs behind those cars, but that thing had an 8-liter Chevy Racing V8 in it, and it doesn't get much beastlier than that. Now that's a car you can go around a racetrack in 7th gear, okay? It's looking like Ecstasy is to take here. Final lap, 6.5 second advantage over Oak, who has managed to hold on to 2nd place throughout this entire race here. Incredibly impressive, Oak. But I think Estacy's gonna cross. I think Estacy's gonna cross that line before you. He's got just a few more corners. He's in that 2nd hairpin. I'd call it more of a double apex, but it does turn over on itself. So he's in that double apex left, which leaves just a few kind of sharp and slow corners before he hits that finish line. Vetterdan is now in 2nd. Wait, what just happened, Oak? What did I miss?
Ran out of fuel. Yeah, just miscalculated it.
Hey, it's all good. It happens. So you're going to get passed by Jeffrey as well. It looks like Estacy through the final corner here, going to cross that line. Boom, boom. That's a win. 2nd win for Estacy tonight. We got to wait 20 whole seconds to watch Vetterdan cross the line, and that just speaks to the dominance Estacy showed tonight, because I honestly, outside of that one wall hit, I haven't seen Vetterdan have a bad race, unless we missed something else. But he crosses the line in 2nd place here, and you are being pushed along by your buddy. Pagani, stick together, okay?
Oh yeah,
we're
Pagani bros.
Bump. We love it. Now somebody's got to make bull bars for the Pagani Wayra. I think it'd be a huge seller, personally. I think that'd be a great seller. I love this. SPC 69. Did we win? I don't know. Who's we? And he takes you home to a podium finish. Oh, it's Ford versus Ferrari. Bring them home together.
Yeah, that was a fun race for sure.
Yeah, you look like you were having a great time, and you did great.
I was.
Congratulate. I say you finished in second place. The fuel miscalculation sucked, but you were so far ahead of Vetterdan that I think even if you'd taken the extra splash you needed, you would have finished where you were. And shout out to Jeffrey for the sportsmanship. We do love that. That was great. Again, we're all friends. We're just having a good time together, and that was just a fun little finish there. Second race in the bag. Here's our finishing order. PSG Ecstasy in first place in the Vulcan. Vetterdan's going to take second place also in the Vulcan. You got Oak in third with the Wyra. Jeffrey with the heroic push job also in the Wyra in fourth. And then Nasty unfortunately DNF'd because of a technical issue. But I hope we'll see you back with the controller, Nasty. That's what we said.
Yep.
Driver of the race, Oak. You gonna vote for you?
Nah. I think I'm gonna go with SSC again on this one. He's just an animal with this combo, I guess. I don't know if he's done like Jorge type of practice or what, but he's killing it today.
Dominating.
Yeah, I think either the Vulcan or the Wyra does him good. So whatever he's doing, I do it for race 3. You know.
I agree. Do it again. So we're gonna vote for driver of the race, and then we're gonna vote for the livery vote. Or sorry, did you just say that we can't do the driver of the race vote? Sorry, I misunderstood that. So rather, we're leaving the livery vote up for the rest of the race. I will still say my driver of the race as well. So you said S to C already. I think it was you, Oak. You kind of jumped in like unexpectedly and don't know the combo very well. Don't like these cars. You clearly know the track well enough, but you had a good time. You did really well. Are you going to do the exhibition or not the exhibition? The prize split?
So I unfortunately did not sign up for the prize split. I cannot either because I am part of the stewarding team for that. So it's just out of conflict of interest reasons. I choose not to race, and
sure.
And it's just I wish I can, and I probably will one race maybe next season. So we'll see how things go.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, I got to figure out with the leagues that I do commentary on. Figuring out how I can get on the track some of these days, because there are definitely combos and races that I'd rather be racing than talking about it, to be honest with you. So I feel that. We're going to take another quick break, of course, while drivers get in and get ready for the prize split. Don't go away. We'll see you soon.
Gotta burn it up, in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. The Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Stealing sparks, we're dancing with the flame. Every corner's deadly, but we play the game. Joker's rules, no mercy, no disguise. See the hunger for the win in every driver's eyes. Wreckage in the rear view, ghosts on my tail. Push the throttle harder, I was born to fail. No brakes, no mistakes, just a rebel's heart. Joker series rips the world apart. Truth is I'm wired, adrenaline's my vice. Risk it all, roll the dice, pay the price. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Joker's got me hooked, no time for rest. Gotta burn it up, in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, control. Joker's laughing, it's a fight for my soul. Blood on the track, sweat in my eyes. Keep on racing till the day that I die. Faster, harder, break the line. Steal the crown, it's do or die time. Joker's chaos is the only way. Live for the race, no tomorrow, today. Scream and shout, no surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down, yeah, till the engines fry. Joker series, where the fearless fly. Burn it down, yeah, till the finish line. In the chaos, we're alive. We shine.
Pedal down, heartbeat rising, no retreat, no compromising. Every second sparks ignite, push it harder, cut the night. Closer now, the light is burning. Every turn, the tide is turning. Risk it all, I feel alive. This is the moment I arrive. I'll break the line, I'll cross the fire, ride the speed, I'm climbing higher. No holding back, the world is mine. One last lap, I'll break the line. I'll break the line. Crowds are up, the ground is shaking, every move, the future's waiting. Through the smoke, I see the sign, this victory will be defined. Closer now, the light is burning. Every turn, the tide is turning. Risk it all, I feel alive. This is
Hey guys, we're back. Not my camera because I forgot to turn that back on, but we are back. It's Oak, me, Sal, not on comms, but thank you guys for sticking with us. We are coming up to our last race, but first we got some stuff to go over. We want to make sure you guys know the prizes, the settings, etc. Let's get into it. So this time around, we got 30 laps. Still the same 3 jokers, but basically double the distance. Tire wear will be set to 2x, which is, I think, what it was already. This time, all of the racing tires are required, so we'll probably see the hards for a good bit there. Fuel burn will only be at 1x with a refuel rate at 3 liters per second. Damage is heavy. I've only seen a couple of like damage moments so far tonight, but when there's more on the line, and we've seen how some of these cars are off on throttle. Oak, I think the challenge is there.
Yeah, the tricky thing with this heavy damage now is to not get overzealous on the exits of the jokers. As we've seen from my race, I kind of had a little squirrely moment there with Ecstasy, and it was quite tricky because the car has so much momentum coming out of the corner. It's so hard to keep it in the lane and just try to not bump into the car coming at full speed down the straight.
I feel it. It did look difficult, to say the least here. I'll go over the cars that people can drive one more time, just in case you see something new, but you're allowed to have either the Ferrari 296 GTB, the Aston Martin Vulcan, the the Bugatti Chiron, the Pagani Huayra, the Lamborghini Veneno, or the Porsche 918 Spider. And so far, it has been very heavily Huayra versus Vulcan. We did get one Veneno with an insane launch, and we've seen the 296 as well. Didn't have a great showing in the one race that we saw it in, so maybe somebody will take it in this race. We have a few people who did the first race who are back. You know what? I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna tell you guys what I see on track. I see a Vulcan. I see a Vulcan. I see a Vulcan. I see a Huayra. I see a Huayra. I see a Huayra. I see a Vulcan. Voila. So, Oak, can you go over the prizes? I think that's gonna pop up on screen here for us.
Yes. So for the winner of the prize split race, I think it is an acrylic trophy given by 4D Racewear themselves. In second place for the winner, or sorry, for the second place finisher, it is given. We're giving out a mug, also by the Joker Series merchandise store, and for third place, it is a gift card for the Salamander merchandise store as well. And then for the livery contest winner, it is a 4D Racewear jersey.
That's right. And for the livery competition, the poll for that is in the chat. We'll, of course, see plenty of these liveries on camera. Sal's been doing a great job of going around them so you can really get a good look at them. And since it's the last chance to look at them, hopefully we'll get even more views because these guys have worked really hard on these liveries. So kind of excited to see what we see on track this time around. We've got 7 racers, Oak. We just had a 4 racer go, which was a good time. Double the distance, almost double the drivers, and hopefully we don't lose anybody this time around because it sucked to lose Nasty for sure.
Yeah, I think definitely don't want to get too frustrated with this combo. It's a tough one for sure. Just stay persistent, and I think these drivers will get a long way, especially in this hour-long race that's coming up.
Yeah, I agree. If they can just keep their heads and realize it's a long race, they can get it done. And I think even with like not quite knowing where these Joker laps are, if you forget one or something like that, there's time to make up for it. We got a question in the chat here, in the game rather, by Florinota on whether or not all the racing tires are needed. And I did mention it, but for the viewers, yes, in this particular split, all 3 racing tire compounds are required if you want your nice little win to count. So, man, that's tough because it basically means you have to do a 2-stopper. I think with the fuel at 1x, you got a look at the fuel use. I mean, I know you miscalculated it, Oak, but you did get a look at it. Do you think they'll need to fuel up twice?
I definitely do think that there could be a tad bit of fuel saving at hand here, maybe a bit of short shifting, as well as filling up in the pits. I think that a full tank should get you about the length of 14 laps, as we've seen in the exhibition races, just with a little bit of short shifting. So yeah, I do think that 2 full tanks of fuel should get these drivers all the way to the end of the race.
Heard 2 full tanks. So for you, strategy-wise, if you were able to jump into this race, how are you handling it? Are you completely filling the car up as soon as it's empty on that maybe second pit stop? Or okay, so with fuel at 1x, you get double the miles. Did you take that into account when you were talking about how much fuel it'll need?
I actually did not, because I didn't think that the room settings itself would change up like that. But with it being double miles, all these drivers have to do is just kind of short shift just a little bit, and I think that they won't have to fuel up in the pits at all.
I agree. I think so, and that makes it I mean, stopping to change tires, I believe, is just a 2-second animation. So,
Yeah.
you know, whatever the pit delta is plus that 2 seconds, it's a really short pit stop versus somebody having to refuel at, I believe it's 1 liter per second on this round. Oh, it's still 3 liters per second. Got it. I have a million tabs open. I was trying to quickly find the rule there. So it's still 3 liters per second to refuel. But still, I mean, 1 more second in this race is not a good thing, right? So you certainly want to keep those pit stops as short as possible. I mean, these cars, the Wyra is really torquey. The Wyra can definitely do it as far as short shifting goes. I did confirm the Vulcan's torque rating is only 575 foot-pounds. So I don't know if they have the same flexibility there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We did see them have to take fuel in the race. I definitely saw like Vetterdan take some fuel in the race. Did you have to take fuel in the Wyra when you pitted?
Yeah, I just took a tad bit. I probably should have taken more, but as we've seen, there was a big moment here from Angry Fredbird and RTS Bandit. RTS Bandit almost running into the back of Angry Fredbird. I don't know if that was just cooling down the tires, or maybe just giving the driver in front some space.
Well, that's not great. Hopefully he didn't actually hit him, because Angry Fredbird is on a flying lap right now as we watch qualifying happen. Bandit is ahead of him. Now, Fredbird also has that fixed wing on the rear, and it looks like no active aero activated on the front. We didn't... So what I'm hearing is, with BOP, we think it doesn't matter with whatever kind of wing you've got on the vehicle. Maybe that's the case, not sure. It did seem to me like that that straight line advantage wasn't there for Jeffrey, but maybe that was placebo at seeing a wing and not seeing anything tuck away for him. Metal's in the same boat. Metal's also got a fixed wing on the back of that Wyra. I doubt that these guys are all driving this thing normally, so why do these drivers seem to think it matters?
You know, I think some of these drivers may not have, I don't want to downplay any of these drivers, but I don't think some of them might not have the extensive knowledge of how, like, because the BOP system can get really complex at times with what affects it, what doesn't affect it. Like somehow, for example, rim sizes affect BOP, but giant wings don't. So it's just, it really can get complex at times with how this game works. So it's tough.
Yeah, definitely weird. I would agree, and it is kind of a limitation that's the way BOP works. That rather than being a true BOP so much, it kind of just gets rid of anything that's different from stock. Though maybe actually that does make sense. I don't know. Probably easier to just calculate the stock specs versus trying to do the calculations on every single piece of aero and its effect on the car and other parts too. You know, ultimately it's just computers. Real life is real life, and you know, there's only so much your computer can do as far as calculating this kind of stuff. We get closer and closer though in sim racing. You know, the wind modeling in this game is I wouldn't say it's accurate by any means, but it does have an effect on the race. Like right now, you're gonna get the wind at your back on this back straight right here that Angry Fredbird is on, and it's going to be helpful until you get to the brakes. And it matters. You have to know that and realize you're gonna have to brake a little bit earlier in this corner, but also you're gonna get a nice push in that straight. It's gonna feel great. And that wind in the next sector is heading against you, which means you might be able to brake a little bit later, but it's also the stadium section. So you've got buildings in the way. How does that have an effect in this game? I'm not sure. But again, we're getting there. It's pretty cool stuff.
Yep.
So we're getting to our final laps of quali here. That's Bandit going to cross the line for his last time. Right now, Florinota's parked it. He's got pole with a 148.8. Where's Bandit end up? He does not improve. Angry Fredbird doesn't either. See if Ecstasy improves, and then I think he's the last one to cross the line. No, remains in 4th place. Is somebody still out there? I think that was it. So Florinota remains on pole. Jeffrey is behind him in 2nd. Florinota is going slow, right? No? I can't tell. I think it just came out. Jeffrey is in 2nd place with a 149.8. He came out on an outlap. Okay, got it. Just the timing worked out. Okay. That's my teammate. Oh, anyway, good looking livery there. Are we not voting on the S7R livery here? Because I think it's clean. And that's not even a bias. I just think it's a clean livery on the Vulcan. He didn't submit it. Got it. Well, we're here now. Oak, can you please read the starting order for us? I'll take care of it. So, in 1st place, or in pole position rather, we got S7R's Florinota in the Vulcan with a 148.8. Jeffrey's in 2nd place, also in the Vulcan with a 149.8. Vetterdan in 3rd with a 150 flat in the Vulcan. PhD's Ecstasy is going to be in 4th place, again, in the Vulcan with a 150.4. Bandit in 5th with the Wyra, 153.3. That's the first Wyra on the grid. Angry Fredbird will be in 6th place, also in the Wyra, with a 153.9. And then you've got Metal in 7th with a 154.9 in his Wyra. It's clear which car has dominance as far as just outright track speed. We'll see which one can really take the fight to the other, though. Almost evenly split, which is pretty awesome here. Oak, are you back with us? Maybe your mic was muted?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, welcome back.
Great, awesome. Sorry about that.
No, you good, no problem. We got about 2 minutes till start. 7 drivers. It's all Vulcans at the front. Man, that seems like it almost feels like it's a done deal for the bottom 3, to be honest with you.
Vulcan looks pretty dominant here. I'm actually pleasantly surprised at what Florinota's been able to do. 148 is definitely a very, very fast time, and that is something I was not expecting.
Yeah, a full second faster than Jeffrey, who's in 2nd place, and Jeffrey obviously ain't no slouch. Yeah, that's insane. I couldn't even begin to approach that, I'm sure, even if I knew this track. So I wonder where everyone will start on. I mean, we saw the first race. A lot of folks started on the soft. Those who started on the medium seem to do really well, especially at the end of the race, being on the softer tire and not having it quite wear down on them, though Jeffrey wasn't able to chase Ecstasy down for first. What do you think? What do you think with this last one, longer race? All 3 compounds in play. What do you think people are starting on?
I think depending on where their starting location is, really can dictate what tires they might want to start on. So for maybe the front runners, they might want to, create a gap in those first couple of laps and be on the faster tire. So we'll have to just see what they're feeling like, and I think drivers are now they're now prepared, as seeing from the first race that most of them participated in the first race. So let's see if they learned anything and they can apply it to the second one.
Absolutely. Let's get on the grid now as we start this race. A familiar sight with Florinota on the pole position, and no Veneno this time to spoil that. So maybe he gets the launch right this time. And there a good launch. I think Jeffrey had a better reaction, but a great launch. And here comes one of those Wyras. I forgot about the Wyras launch. That's Angry Fredbird unleashing all 811 pound-feet of torque to get himself up to 4th place. He's already under attack by Ecstasy in 5th, though. not happy to have been passed, but Angry Fredbird able to break his way into that Wyra pack there. Of course, up front, you still got Florinoda, who may be under pressure by Jeffrey. It looks like it. Yes, Jeffrey up the inside in the hairpin, the Vulcan. It looks like that outside line is actually better in that hairpin. We've seen time and time again drivers seemingly getting the drive out of it with the tighter line, but then the outside driver always ends up ahead of them right before this here chicane. On the brakes, the Vulcan's pretty even in performance. These guys are great drivers, all in each other's slipstream, and nobody hit anybody. That was fantastic. I see Estacy's made his way back up into fourth. Have you seen anything else happening out back?
No, nothing major as of yet. These drivers have been able to actually stick pretty close together in this opening lap so far. There is a variety of tires that drivers are on at the moment. We see a couple of racing softs, racing mediums, even a racing hard, one of them. So
Nice.
It is nice seeing the cool variety of pit stop strategies that these drivers decided to opt into.
I agree. That's good to know. Thanks for pointing that out. And Jeffrey has fallen to third place here. Vetterdam muscling his way past. Let's see how that pass happened. We catch him in the double left-hander. Jeffrey's got Vetterdam's got a great run. Jeffrey's got the inside for the next corner, but Vetterdam absolutely squeezes him, refuses to let him hold any sort of speed through those corners, and is able to get through. That is some great racing there. He didn't touch him. He just forced him into a really bad line, and you love to see that, and gets the pass. It's kind of how you have to race when the machinery is equal, right, Oak? You just gotta be more clever.
Yep, you just got to try to find a way to be different and try to be different in a better way than the driver ahead of you.
I like the way you put that. Be different, not necessarily better, but different in a better way, and that's fantastic. We did see that. We're gonna see a pair of jokers already. That's Angry Fredbird and Bandit, both taking their jokers. Bandit's got to get that cone up out of the way, move. The course workers always seem to forget them before these joker races. It's so weird. Like, you think they know by now. Let's see, up front, Florinoda with a 1.5 second gap on Vetterdam, who, of course, we did see make that pass on Jeffrey in an attempt to chase him down, but Jeffrey is still right there within a second, definitely within his slipstream. Ecstasy in his as well. I don't think we've seen anybody bump draft outside of you getting a nice little help from bump from Jeffrey. This feels like the perfect time. Like, if Ecstasy catches him, it doesn't feel like it would make sense to fight, especially at this track. Like, this seems like a track where there's really only one fast line through so many corners. Help each other. It's a long race, right?
Yeah. So yeah, with it being a longer race, I think it's imperative that these drivers try to work with each other, because you definitely don't want to catch yourself into a mistake with the other driver and possibly get damaged, and that's your race ruined pretty much. So yeah, I would either just try to stick with them as best you can, or work with them to catch the driver ahead.
Sure, that's always good advice, especially, yes, in a longer race like this at a track that is so fast, It's not like you're going to run into the back of the other driver too much if you work together. So I agree that that's a great idea. It looked like for a second there when we were looking at Ecstasy from that chase cam that he seems to be saving tires. I don't see much of aggression in his braking and cornering. He's still keeping up, of course. He's so fast around here that he hasn't lost the pack at all. But it did look like he's trying to take it easy on that rubber. Just knowing what we know about how it ran in the last two races, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the time to go ahead and just be easy on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jeffrey's used the information that he's obtained over the last two exhibition races that he's been part of, and I think he's putting that to great use now with I can already see some slight difference between him and SSC tires. And it's definitely like gonna play out to his advantage here pretty soon in the latter stages of this race.
It definitely is, and these cars are not as aero dependent as the group cars, of course, but obviously the Vulcan seems to depend on aero a lot, so I do wonder how much dirty air plays a part here with that car in particular, because Estacy's obviously got the harder job if the dirty air is having him under or creating understeer for him, while still somehow managing to hold on to that front rubber just a little bit better than Jeffrey. It's remarkable talent, quite frankly, to be a tire whisperer. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there for sure.
Yeah, as we say that though, I've seen a couple of moments here that aren't very tire savvy, and I wonder if he's listening to us and we're jinxing him. So let's move on. Florinoda now with a 2.1 second gap, so he's picked up a half second, really 0.6, because I think it was a 1.4 last time we checked. He's picked up a big gap over Vetterdan. That is, he takes Ecstasy rather, takes a Joker lap here. So gonna get one of those out of the way now. Kind of the same strategy that we saw in the last race. Ecstasy had already taken one pretty early. We know that some of the Wyras have. Bandit and Angry Fredbird. Metal maybe hasn't, because still got 10 and a half seconds over those two. But again, everyone's got to take their 3. So it all ends up evening out towards the end, and you get to see where people's real position is in the last couple of laps. Which is always a fun reveal.
Yep, and as we see now, gaps are quite open now. Everyone's kind of like in their own space, besides the top 3. I mean, everyone's just kind of in their own world, just taking care of their tires, and they're leaving it to the end, which I'm quite surprised about.
I like it. We're 4 laps in. Yeah, working lap 4 of 30 here. Florinoda keeping it nice and neat, just using as much of the track as available. It is obviously usually the fastest way around the track and around a corner, but the more pertinent issue here is also keeping those tires fresh. And the more straight lines you can take, the better for your brakes, then of course your tires. But we're going to see a lot of exaggerated use of the curbs here. And you're right, it's pretty spread out. There's not a lot of action happening right now. Those Jokers sure do mix it up though. It's a really good format, so I don't imagine it'll be too long before we see something. In fact, here's Jeffrey taking a Joker as I saw someone coming in the background, and unless that someone also takes a Joker, that means they'll be close. Yes, it's Jeffrey and Ecstasy who are battling for position in the same exact car. What did I just say? We're right back. Well, Ecstasy takes another Joker again, getting them out of the way. It is a great strategy, I think, to just get them out, especially being able to take them fast while you still have that front end grip. These are all chicanes, and some of them are pretty slow, and it just doesn't feel like it makes sense to wait till the tires are worn to do it. At least not to me.
Yeah, it's getting them done early is, I think, definitely the best call. Yeah, just getting them out of the way, not having to worry about them for the rest of the race.
Agreed. So we got a couple drivers on the racing softs, right? Vetterdan and Bandit are both on softs. Now, Bandits look worse for the wear than Vetterdans, which is surprising because typically we've seen the Wyra actually do better on its fronts than the other cars. But it does seem like those softs don't give you much. We're only on lap 5. And they've taken them pretty early. Do you think we'll see long, hard stints? I mean, tire wear is only at 1x this time around, but does it feel like the hard is worth taking for a longer one? Metal is still on them, by the way, in 5th.
I could see the hards being a good factor here, but I do think that the mediums do have the slight edge in terms of longevity and pace. I think the hards are just... I just think a little too slow, in my opinion. And what I would do is probably just try to stretch out the mediums as best as I can and hope to maybe do at most 10 laps on the hards. I wouldn't do anything more than 15, I'd say.
I agree. Hards are just so slow with the current tire model, which some people really do mind, and I definitely get that in a room of mixed tire strategies. I love the challenge of driving on hards though. So in an all hards race, it's great. But I digress. In the mixed lobby, I'm trying to minimize my time on the hards altogether. Like if I know I can do like 25 laps on soft and mediums, I'm doing 25 laps. Like I'd rather have worn softs than fresh hards in a lot of instances. So we'll see what happens. You said you wouldn't take them for more than 10 to 15 laps. Metal's been on them for 6 laps, it looks like here. I think that was STC taking the chicane, not a Joker. Sorry, in my mind I was like, is that a Joker? Oh, slow, but it's the main chicane. Back to what I was talking about. I don't think Metal is doing himself any favor staying on them unless he feels like he has a tire wear issue. I don't remember how he did in the first race.
Yeah, if Metal is the type of person where his tire wear isn't the greatest and he knows that, then I would go for the hards and try to just be as fast as I can on them, even though that's hard to do on the hards. Yeah, that's probably what I would do if I were him. You know, just and he's in a good place if he's done his jokers. Yeah, he's in a good place to just stretch it out as long as he can. Try to just clock in the best lap times he can.
That's right. I know we saw. Actually, I didn't see him take one, but yeah, if he's taking them, he can just log miles. But you know, there is a limit to how long he can keep them on because ultimately, you got to change compounds. Maybe he could leave it to the last minute to do maybe a couple quick laps on the medium, couple quick laps on the soft, but that just doesn't feel worth it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna come off much sooner. We'll see.
Yeah.
Ooh, we've already got Bandit coming off the softs, so that's one set of softs out of there. Better Dan was the other, as I recall. So one set of softs off the table. Yeah, Better Dan is still on the soft, and they're starting to wear out, but we've seen people run them a lot longer in previous races, or to a lot, more wear. Though again, you've got 2 other compounds to change to in this race. That's my next question. Do you run the softs until they're absolutely done, or do you go ahead and change to mediums or hards a little bit sooner than you normally would?
I think I would personally. I would switch softs once they hit that crossover point with the mediums, because at that point, after that crossover, you're just going to be losing time. So I wouldn't necessarily ride them out crazy long to where you're riding on dead tires, but I do think that you should stretch them out just a little bit once you reach that crossover point, just like how Better Dan did it, where he rode them out, but it wasn't to the point of non-existent tires.
That's right. We just saw him pit, and that kind of answers that for us. Jeffrey is in second place. He's on the mediums. They actually are starting to wear out too, but still worth keeping them on for a bit. To your point about crossovers, he would probably be comparing them to what he can do on the hards versus what he can do on the softs, of course, as they wear out. But yeah, Florinoda is on the medium tires, and just like the first race, they look excellent. In the first race, he did really well on those mediums as well. Despite kind of a really active start to the race, as we recall, there was a lot of moving around, a lot of bumping going on, and he still managed to keep more rubber on those rims than others did. Better Dan has come out right behind STC after that pit. He's got the fresher rubber, but this will be a battle for position if he gets up to STC, who I think has taken all his jokers and doesn't really have a reason to stop except to maybe pit, but his mediums still look really great. I don't think he's going to be pitting. I think it's going to come down to a little bit of a fight, which we love to see, Oak.
Yep. I've also noticed that Redbird is continuing to stretch out his hards, and he is seeing from his last lap time. He has done a 2-minute 02, so I'm assuming that that lap was a joker. So it is nice to see him do that. He could possibly finish all his jokers with the one set of tires, which would be ideal in this case.
Yeah, that would be great. We have confirmation that SSC has done all three of his Jokers, so he's not going to stop or get out of Vetterdan's way. Vetterdan is going to have to move him, and we would like to see it. We love a battle for sure. Thank you for the insight on Metal's tires there, and whether or not he's taken all of his Jokers, of course. I had something to say about that, but I completely forgot what it was, and maybe it'll come up, maybe it won't. But I'm glad to see that that's working out for Metal here. Man, look at that view. Honestly, Vetterdan's livery really does a good job of showing just how gorgeous that Vulcan is, as he shows it off taking his Joker lap here. Yeah, look at that. Back end, beautiful. Aston Martin has very few misses. You know, as far as car companies go, car companies that have stuck to a particular styling or design language, like Aston Martin found it and they are not letting it go, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I think the only miss they've got right now is in Formula One. But besides that point, all their cars have been short and perfect.
You are absolutely right. Formula One is not doing great right now. Gosh, I would love to see what Fernando can do in a good car, even at his age. I think it would be surprising. In fact, I remember early on in the last set of rules, like when Aston Martin had kind of figured something out that others hadn't for a minute. Fernando had a podium or two. Like he was constantly qualifying and finishing races pretty far up, like in the beginning of the season, and then I think everyone kind of caught up and surpassed Aston Martin, and they just haven't looked like that again. And that was like a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
And it does look like.
Huh? Okay, I think we lost you. I think you were going to say something. Got it. Well, we have a battle going on for 7th place, by the way, for 6th place rather, between Metal and Bandit. Two of the Wyras. I did want to see a Pagani fight here. Oh, and Bandit with a huge lunge into that corner, and he's able to get it done. He's on the fresh mediums. Metal is on the hard. It's not that surprising that it worked. It was just surprising that it happened. I wasn't ready for it. And yeah, from way far away, he notices Metal's tail lights glowing there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and brake where I was gonna brake," and boom, easily done. As he gets away, that traction control working to help keep that power down, and that would explain how he's able to take these corner exits so nice and neatly. We haven't seen so much movement from him on corner exits as we have from other drivers. Though, you know, I wonder if he's not losing some performance there. I do see leaning on the traction control a lot, which does mean it's slowing him down. Which, by the way, I'm not saying that to hate on traction control. Definitely run traction control if you need it. The point is that it's there to save you. And in fact, I always recommend people who are trying to learn to drive without it, turn it on, but just watch the meter and try not to lean on it. When it's turning red, you're using TCS. When you are able to get out of corners fast without it going red too many times, you are ready to turn the TCS off all the way. But like, don't. Maybe when in an open lobby, when it doesn't matter, or you're just practicing, sure, turn it off or whatever. But in a race, if you can race without leaning on it, you'll just be faster, and in the moments where you do mess up, you will mostly be saved.
Am I back? Can you guys hear me?
You are back, and that was the more you learn moment. But go ahead, Oath. What's up?
No, I was just pointing out the battle that Metal and Bandit were having. It's pretty interesting, actually, seeing how Bandit was able to get past.
Yeah, it was a fantastic lunge, and I don't think he was planning it because it didn't look like he was. I really do think that like he just saw just how early Metal braked, and that's when he saw him cut the wheel a little bit more and brake after Metal and get in there. It was really nicely done. Didn't upset the car, didn't touch metal at all to make the pass. You gotta love it. Fredbird, Angry Fredbird, heating up a lot of that track again, just trying to save his tires and keep the rubber up under him here. But I think Angry's been doing pretty well. I haven't seen much bad come out of Angry Fredbird's car. Let's see if there are any other battles going on. I know up front we had Vetter versus S to C, which never quite materialized. In fact, Vetterdan is 25.5 seconds behind S to C. He pitted. We saw that. So that battle's not happening anytime soon. S to C, however, now only 2.7 seconds behind. Oh, never mind. Jeffrey pitted. Thought something was going to happen. So Jeffrey is going to come off the mediums and put on. We'll find out once he gets out.
He is putting quite a bit of fuel.
He is. I wonder if he's going to go all the way.
I think he might be doing so.
Yeah, past the 3/4 mark. He just wants that short pit stop, I guess. Not quite a full tank, but a very heavy tank of fuel, which tells me maybe he's going to come out on the softs.
I think
Oh, hards. I mean, yeah. Gonna go long on the hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then keep the softs for when he's got almost an empty tank in the lightest car he will have. That's what I was trying to say. I promise, I played this game before. He comes out right behind Vetterdan, and I don't think it's going to be much competition. Vetterdan should be able to run away from him, at least for a good while, until... Oh, Vetterdan still got to turn... I see. Vetterdan still got turn signal on. Hopefully he turns that off soon. It's going to confuse people. He heard us. There he is. Stop listening, Vetterdan. Concentrate on your race. You have a Jeffrey on your ass. Language. You have a Jeffrey behind you. Jeffrey's got the heavier car and the worst tires. So, yeah, I don't think he stands a chance against Vetterdan at first. But eventually those mediums will start to fall off, and then Jeffrey may be able to get something there. He'll do well to just stick to Vetterdan's coattails if possible. Oak, do we feel like that's possible? I guess we'll maybe see what kind of times they put down, huh?
Yeah, only time will tell. I think the hards, I think the mediums might be a little better in this situation, because you're not going the full race length, just only about, I'd say, 20 or so laps. So if Vetterdan could stretch these mediums, I think he'd be just fine. And he could stay ahead of Jeffrey, as well as if he's finished his Joker laps, you never know.
That is fair. Estacy's in the pits, by the way, and he also will refuel to almost max fuel. So I'm guessing he's going to come out on those hards. Where does he come out in comparison to these two? I don't know. We'll see. They're very close to the pit exit here, so he's not going to come out too far behind them. Yeah, there they are in the distance that you can see as Estacy will come out in 4th place. That is Jeffrey just ahead of him and Vetterdan there. Now, Jeffrey is also on the hards, just 1 lap older, if that. They both picked up a heavy car, so Vetterdan, if he's going to catch him, is going to be on straight pace. Jeffrey, of course, has the benefit of slipstream as long as he can stick to Vetterdan. So what does Estacy do here? I guess just head down, yeah? He's done his job.
He's finished them. Just now head down and just clock in those laps.
Nice. It's such a good place to be in a race, honestly. I love just that moment where you're like, okay, I've gotten through the drama of whatever, whether it's just like getting through the opening laps or a big battle that you were in. When you get that breathing room and it's just like, just hot lap, getting that flow and hot lap. As much as I love battling, I also really love that part of a race, on longer races at least. Oh, what is your preference? Do you like a race where you just kind of like, you're in no man's land and the position you're in is the position you're in, you're not fighting anyone? Or do you like a flag to flag absolute dogfight?
It kind of depends on what kind of situation it is. Like if I'm in a certain league where it's more of a sprint race type of deal, then I would prefer to kind of try battling for positions as much as I can and try to make up as much time. But at the end of the day, that can lose you time as well. So being alone is also really good because you're just able to just focus on yourself and nobody else around you. So yeah, it just kind of depends on what kind of situation you're in or what league you're racing in, what track it is, all that.
Absolutely, and I have to agree. If it's an endurance race, oh man, that's the second big slide for Jeffrey on throttle there. We saw one earlier while you were talking. I don't think that was on camera. I just saw it on my screen here, but I think he's just trying to keep up with Vetterdan, just trying really, really hard and maybe trying to get away from ecstasy, but it's caused him two massive moments with the rear end of that car, and it's got him out of the slipstream. There it goes right there, coming out of that hairpin. Just trying to get as good an exit as he can, of course, to get that straight line speed, and ultimately ended up slowing himself down a bit. He's gonna want to be more careful. And friends, this is where that traction control comes in handy. When you're good enough to not need it, but it would have been nice for it to cut in that moment, wouldn't it?
Yeah, those tire temps are going to go way up even with every little slide that he does. So he's got to be aware that tires may also be affected by those little slides.
Absolutely. I mean, that one happened in front of a long straight, but it's not like a straight is, it's not the brake on your tires that you think. Ultimately, they are still rolling. There's still friction there. You're not going to dissipate as much heat as you would probably like before you're right back to the next acceleration zone. So he does want to be careful. Florinoda, our leader, huge gap, 1 minute. I don't know that Florinoda has pitted at all. I don't think so. I think this is that same first set of mediums from the very beginning that we noted he was saving really well, and a little bit of a washout on the front there for him, but otherwise, keeping it nice and neat. It looks like he's doing a great job, and he's still got enough fuel to continue to go long on this set of tires, and which you mentioned, the mediums are probably the best tire that in this race in particular. So you do want to spend a good amount of time on them. I think it lost a little bit of time to Vetterdan since we started talking. It's now 4 seconds lost to Vetterdan, but Vetterdan is on fresher mediums, of course. Hasn't quite lost Jeffrey. Jeffrey had those two slides. He ended up, 1.7 seconds instead of 1 second behind Vetterdan, but the gap hasn't increased too much. So Jeffrey doing great in an attempt to recover, while Vetterdan's mediums are starting to show signs of wear in the front, for sure. I don't think they're slower than hards yet.
Yeah, on the mediums, it takes quite a while to reach that crossover point with the hards. That's what I'm saying, that sometimes the time in the races just don't allow for hards to be viable in this situation. It's just the hards just may be too much in terms of longevity. And yeah, it might be just the right call to maybe go at the least amount of laps on the hards and just really try to push it on the mediums and softs.
For sure. I'll be honest, I haven't seen too many races, and I have done commentary on lots of endurance formats. I haven't seen too many races with mixed compounds where the hards ever became a viable tire. Though, back in the GT5 days and GT6, when we first started being able to race online together, I used to be part of an insane league where we did 3-hour enduros. No teammate, it's just you. If you got a wheel, great. If you're on a controller, welcome to arthritis. I was on a controller. And the PS3 controller isn't the most ergonomic, if you recall. So those races were fun. And, maybe if some league did 3-hour races today, maybe we would see the hards become a viable tire. But I think even in like ETC, I think each stint is maybe a couple hours, hour and a half per stint, something like that. 2 hours per stint. So not quite there. Also did a couple of 6-hour races where I think, a hard tire would work out. But yeah.
I would
Hey.
like to point out that Florinoda, I did notice that he did just lose 10 seconds to Vetterdan. Gap now being down.
Take a joker.
Okay, so yeah, he did take 2 jokers. I am mistaken.
Hey, I'm with you. In the last race, you pointed out a time loss, and my mind immediately went to, dang, what happened? And you were like, probably took a joker. And I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. We're just so used to people crashing out. Here's Florinoda taking what I believe is his 3rd joker. Pretty quickly, because I think we heard he said he just took 2 jokers 2 laps ago, or the last 2 laps. That's his last joker. He comes out ahead of Metal, who's on his hard tires, but it's not a battle for position. Whoa, both drivers having a moment. Metal on throttle. I think Florinoda went deep in there. It was hard to tell from the camera. Let's see what happens here. So he brakes. Both of them went deep, actually. Yeah, Metal following him through there. Luckily, nobody got a penalty. The game being fair there and saying, I think you penalized yourself enough. No need to add more to it. So Florinoda has taken all 3 jokers and remains ahead of everyone else by 38 seconds. He's wide again there. His tires aren't doing that bad for him to be going super wide like that, but I think, again, because he knows there's no penalty, maybe he's just using all the track to save him even more. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's weird.
he could be.
He could be. He's doing great. Oh, he's in. I didn't think he was coming in just yet, but he is in. We'll see what tire he comes out on. He's going to need to take some fuel here, no matter what tire he takes, but we'll know what he's coming out on based on how much fuel he takes for sure. Now, his delta was 38 seconds, which is not enough to keep the position. Vetterdan is coming up on him in 2nd place here, and Jeffrey behind him. I saw Vetterdan have a couple of huge slides on my screen. Hopefully he has gathered it back up, but there were a couple of moments I saw where I was like, ooh, thought he was going to wipe out. Florinoda coming out now on the soft tire, and he didn't completely refuel. He didn't go full, but he also pitted way later than the folks who did have to go full. So that's kind of surprising to take the rest of the fuel you need and then come out on the soft compound. What do you think about that, Oak? What are you thinking there?
I like his strat because he's able to now just push really hard on the softs, try to get as much time out of them as possible, and then I think he's going to use that time that he's gained and hop on the hards and finish out the race from there.
I think you might be right. Yeah, gain time on the softs. Because if he came out on the hards right now, he'd possibly be run down. I mean, Vetterdan's hards or mediums are starting to wear down now, maybe approach that crossover point. But he's not quite there yet, so he may have been run down by Vetterdan and then have to pit again and try to catch him back up at the soft. Might not have worked. I think you're right. I think this kind of works out better for him. He'll run away now. He'll jump on the hards really, really quick on a track that's fairly easy to defend on. So if he can come out of the pits without having needed to take fuel, it's just a really short, quick pit stop. I think coming out on the hard tires shouldn't hurt him too bad. And of course, if he's got a huge gap, then that's done deal. Doesn't matter. So, all right, well played, Florinoda. Well played. Jeffrey has now pretty much not lost touch with Vetterdan, but it's a 2.5 second gap. So that's not going to become a battle anytime soon. Ecstasy has not really caught up to Jeffrey. He's got 8-second gap back to Ecstasy in 4th place, though Ecstasy's done all jokers. I don't think Jeffrey has. So that gap might not be a real gap, if that makes sense. Angry Fredbird back in 5th place, the first of the Wyras, who had the excellent jump in the beginning of the race, if you recall. It got up to 4th place. He is 48 seconds back in the Wyra. Took his jokers pretty early, as I recall, and he's right now out on the racing hards. And then we got Bandit in 6th place, also in a Wyra. We've seen Bandit have a couple moments, some brilliant passes. He's doing his hard stint, and looks like he literally just put those on. I do believe we saw that on camera. We'll see how long he stays on those. And then Metal was on that super long, hard stint. He's on the mediums now. He's in 7th place. He's 12 seconds, 13 seconds back from Bandit. And I think the mediums are fast enough that he could catch Bandit up. So that might end up being an interesting battle in the Wyras. On that note, here comes Angry Fredbird to take those hards off. He said, I'm done with these. Barely a sliver of wear on them. And now he's just got to do 11 laps on what I believe are the softs. He started on the medium. No
Be interesting.
fuel pit. So just a quick tire change pit stop there. It was super fast for him. Let's see where he ends up. Who's that coming up on that last turn there? I think that's Metal coming up behind him. He is on the soft, and that was Metal. Metal on the medium, 6.5 seconds and counting back. Oh, it's going down, but it's not going to go down that fast or that much. So Metal might not have a chance here to get out of 7th place unless Bandit's got another pit stop or something he needs to do. Back up front. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what the main job for Fredbird now is to just take care of his tires with him being on the softs. 11 laps is a lot on the softs, and it's going to be a big task and a big order for him to take on and challenge in terms of saving his tires and just trying to stay ahead of him.
I agree. It definitely will be a challenge. I think, though, unless he plans to chase Bandit down, it might not be too much of a problem for him because I think Metal still owes another tire change. He was on the hards. He's on the medium now. I doubt he's already pitted for the softs.
Yeah.
So he's got to pit again. This battle for second is starting to form up. It's shaping up. I don't know if this is outright pace. Looking at Jeffrey's lap times, he's been doing 151s pretty consistently. They're kind of all over the board within that 151 range, but they're there. And Vetterdan, yeah, he's fallen from the 150s. He's been doing 151s, and that last lap was a 152.2, 0.3 slower than the lap before. So I do believe this is a pace thing. I think all the Joker laps are going to be worth more than that, 0.3 of a second loss. So I think either he had a moment, but either way, the moments are adding up. He's been having slow laps in comparison to Jeffrey. I think it's time to get off those mediums and get on that soft compound. Because Jeffrey still has to pit too, right? Yeah, I think Jeffrey's got to go get the softs as well. So if I'm Jeffrey, I might pit when Vetterdan pits.
Yeah, with them being so close to each other in proximity, I would. I could see them. Since it's kind of tough to determine since they're on different tires. I think Jeffrey might go long and finish out the race on the hards. I'm not sure if he has to pit again, but he does. Okay, yes. So, I could see him going a couple more laps on the hards, maybe.
I think in this case, what we're hearing is that he may be a little bit too hard on the tires to make them last. But right now, Vetterdan hasn't pitted, so it doesn't come into play, until Vetterdan pits. It'll depend on when he pits, if Jeffrey follows him or not. I think I would take that gamble. I don't care what the tire wear is. I'm not getting off your ass. I'm not gonna look for an overcut or something like that. I'm gonna pit when Vetterdan pits if looking for a pass right here, and I feel almost like Vetterdan kind of gave that to him. He's looking for the overcut or undercut here in the double left, but he's not gonna have the momentum to hold on to it. Jeffrey will have the inside for the next few corners. Vetterdan did have that move where he kind of squeezed them off earlier, and I think he's learned from that, but this is side-by-side action through some of the slowest corners on the track, and ultimately, I think Vetterdan regained his position, just being in a better place on the track and some key corners there. But that was a valiant effort by Jeffrey, and whoa, Vetterdan with the deke jumps into the pits real quick there. I don't think he crossed that solid line. I hope not. 3 seconds is going to cost a lot right now. but that was really good. Replay here between the two of them. Vetterdan, yes, with the undercut in the double left, but that didn't quite regain him the position. He still had to fight Jeffrey here. Jeffrey making sure he's got the space on the inside here, maybe a little bit of a hip check there to give himself the space, but ultimately just in a bad position there, out on the marbles on the outside of that corner, and that's going to give Vetterdan the position there. That was some brilliant racing. And then right here, unfortunately, the replay not fast enough. I don't think Vetterdan necessarily was going to pit right there. One, we know he's listening. Two, I think that was nice to let Jeffrey get a little bit of ahead of him and not be able to react to the pit stop.
Yeah, it was nice seeing. Now Vetterdan's on the hard, so I see him finishing out this race now on the hards.
Oh yeah, he started on the soft. I thought he was going to the soft. He was one of the people who started on the soft. It was him and Bandit. Yeah.
It looks like Ecstasy is going to finish out on the hards here as well. Also, in 5th and 6th, Bandit and Fredbird only being separated by 0.6.
What? So he chased him down.
Fredbird does have a tire advantage. Looks like might have been a little bit of pit stop strategy involved here.
Or maybe he had to take a joker. Oh, you're right. Fredbird was fighting for not last against Metal. That's true. Fredbird is in 5th place. That is a pass made on Bandit, so he was able to chase Bandit down, which I wasn't sure if he'd be able to do, but he has done that. Oh, you had mentioned he might want to save his tires a little bit, so I wonder if he's eating them up trying to get that pass on Bandit, but it's done. We see Ecstasy take his final pit stop here. He's going to get on the soft tire. Jeffrey has not pitted. I did note him passing the pit lane again. We'll see where he comes out. He's on hard tires, just like Vetterdan, but they're very worn hard tires. So Vetterdan definitely getting the advantage of the undercut right now, I would say. Jeffrey will get on the soft compound, which is a lot faster. But will there be enough time in the race left to chase Vetterdan down, as he has the advantage right now on fresh rubber, and we don't know when Jeffrey's going to pit yet. Yeah. Ecstasy's got a tire advantage on Vetterdan. He's only 3.5 seconds back. So those are very fresh softs. We just saw him pit for them. They're brand spanking new, ain't even warm yet. So he will probably chase Vetterdan down for that final podium position. Jeffrey will need to pit, and I don't think he can get through pit lane fast enough to not get passed by Ecstasy. So Jeffrey may be just fighting for that last podium spot for 3rd place. Oh, am I doing that racing math right?
I think you are, yeah. Definitely it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out in these last couple of laps here in the race.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're gonna have a close finish in the top 4, just based on even the people who are close to one another. They either still owe a pit stop, or it's a huge tire, difference or something like that. So I'm not sure with 7 laps left that I would say the top 4 will culminate in a close race. Perhaps Fredbird Bandit with the Wyras, perhaps. Though Fredbird's got the tire advantage with those softs, but how well can he make them last for another 6 laps? I don't know. Yeah, but right now, we got some stuff going on. This is on board with Ecstasy as he chases Vetterdan down. He will probably be noticing that in corners like these, he is closing on him in the brakes. That was a huge amount gained right there. Vetterdan trying to use as much of that exit as possible to try and boost his acceleration out of the corner. It does help a little bit, Ecstasy, in his slipstream, but stalled a little bit there on exit, but ultimately got closer and now has closed even more of the distance on braking. He will be better in the slow corners of the chicane, and even with that little wiggle is alongside Vetterdan's rear fender for this back straight. Gets the pass He's in third place, and I think he's got track position for the double left. Vetterdan trying to get through that kink and maybe squeeze Ecstasy just a little bit. Will Vetterdan look for an undercut here? He does, but he's not able to do what he did to Jeffrey. It's just too big a tire difference. That's Ecstasy into third. Florinota back into the pits. Did Florinota owe another pit stop? Or is this just a flex that he can go for a 4-stopper or 3-stopper? He hasn't done hards yet. I didn't. Oh, yeah.
Same with Jeffrey as well. Looks like
we had just seen him pit. Jeffrey's jumped in the pits. He's going to get off the hard. I think he's got a set of softs he can go on to. He's taking a splash of fuel as well. So the chance to not have to fuel up, not really given there for him, but it was just a splash. We'll see where he comes out. Ecstasy is. We're going to see a pass here. This is a pass on Ecstasy on Vetterdan back in the chicane that we saw maybe half a lap ago. And yeah, just way better acceleration out of the chicane. Gets to the inside of the track for the next turn. I believe turn 9, I think is what it is. And yeah, just deeper on the brakes. Tighter line. Vetterdan does look to get up under him after that second apex, but he's unable to make it happen. He just doesn't have the front end grip that Ecstasy has, and so pass done, and Ecstasy now in second place because Jeffrey pitted. Jeffrey did come out on the race in softs. He's 6.6 seconds behind Vetterdan and has 4.5 laps to catch him, maybe. So we'll see if it's enough time. I do think he waited too long to pit while Vetterdan was going faster on those hards, but Vetterdan had a little bit of battling with Ecstasy. Were you trying to make a point? I'm sorry.
No, it's just I'm just observing now how this will play out for Florinota these last couple laps. He's got the 18-second gap, but with SSC being on the soft and Florinota on the hards, it's a big time difference with those tires. So
it is a huge time difference, like 2 seconds a lap. You think?
Yeah, right around there. So this could play out in Estacy's hands if Florinota maybe makes a mistake or if he goes wide in a turn. You never know, but we'll just have to see with time.
He's gonna have to make a mistake. It's 5 laps left now. I think I said 4.5 a lap ago. Sorry, math is not math. It's 5 laps left to go. Even at 2 seconds a lap, that's only 10 seconds. So Florinota has to make an 8-second mistake for Ecstasy to have a chance. Ecstasy goes purple in that sector as I say that. So Ecstasy definitely on the chase and trying to get him. He's got a really light tank of fuel, but both of them do. Neither one of them need a lot of fuel to get to the end of this race. And in fact, Ecstasy is a little bit heavier still. But that might mean he's able to really rev that Vulcan out. I don't know what Florinota's got to do with fuel. He's got to be easy on the throttle regardless because he's on the hards. Raw dogging it, no traction control. All right.
Nothing really. I think all these drivers now are just going to take their tires all the way to the end. I don't see anyone pitting unless they get damaged. But yeah, it's just about now just catching up to the driver in front if you can, and really just pushing the bar on these last couple laps. As we see, Jeffrey is also on the hunt to Vetterdan, who he does have a tire advantage against.
Yeah, that gap came down quick. It was 6.5 seconds, like not long ago. 1.3 now. Metal's in the pits, by the way. He said he didn't see anyone else pitting. I thought maybe Metal still had to get on the softs, and he's jumping out now, and I think it will be the soft stint for him.
As soon as I said it.
It is. As soon as you said it. So he's out now, and he's 30 seconds behind Bandit. Bandit's on the hards, and see how Jeffrey's running Vetterdan down. So don't count it out. But let's watch this as we chase down Vetterdan. Ooh, Jeffrey, huge speed advantage through that right hander there. I think turn 3. He's able to hold more speed in the fast corners. He's going to be able to brake later here. He's going to be able to hold a tighter line here. He's going to get on the gas quicker here. And sure enough, he is already up underneath Better Dan's wing and having to move over so he doesn't run into the back of him. This is just a drag race down to the chicane, which he should have the advantage in as well. Will Better Dan fight back here? Not really. What can he do? He's got to brake when he's got to brake. And Jeffrey easily by and starts to pick up a little bit of a gap on him in the chicane, and certainly will in back straight and that braking zone was the turn. Whatever turn. Double left.
And I will say, Jeffrey did put in a monster fast lap of 48.2, faster than we've seen in qualifying.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a 48.5 in quali, I think, for Florinoda. So Jeffrey is not playing with y'all. He's got 4.2 seconds to ecstasy, and does have way better tires than ecstasy. But is it enough time? Is it enough time? Ecstasy is not catching Florinoda fast enough. He's only gained 1 second from the last time we checked, and his tires are starting to wear out. I wouldn't say they've hit the crossover to the hards, but they're not going to get any faster for sure. Jeffrey possibly could run him down, and that'll be exciting. He's already, he's built up a good gap to Better Dan. 1.6 seconds, nothing doing there. He just has to be perfect. If he can be perfect for the next couple of laps, he has a chance against Ecstasy. As for the back half here, Metal catching Bandit, not going to happen. He's only gained about 2.5 seconds on him. So this is the battle.
Looks like Ecstasy, Ecstasy got a 0.5 second pen.
Ooh.
So this will definitely shake things up.
That's ugly.
Yep. Definitely not what he wanted in these last stages of the race.
No, not at all. And you did say that penalty is taken on one of these back straights, so it's a really bad spot to have to slow down on one of the fastest spots on this track. Is it towards the beginning of that straight or more towards the end, like the braking zone?
It's right here.
It's right there. And gosh, still got so much more full throttle acceleration there, and his car definitely starts to get bigger and bigger for Jeffrey. We're looking from Jeffrey's hood right now. So Ecstasy is going to have to get real defensive here in the closing stages of his lap, because Jeffrey's been chasing him down, and he's not playing around. Well, we're going to see. I'm looking at Jeffrey's front tires. They're not great. But Ecstasy's front tires are like, please kill us now.
Actually, a big concern for Ecstasy. These tires are. It's coming down to the wire for these tires.
It is. Ecstasy looking to keep Jeffrey out of it, looking Jeffrey slow to get behind him, maybe expecting Ecstasy to cut back on him. I definitely play slipstream games when it's the end of the race and you're getting close. It's me. I'm not saying I'm going to move under braking. I'm just saying I'm going to make sure you get as little slip as possible from me. It's not working. Jeffrey is right there on Ecstasy, and he's not even going to wait to challenge him, letting him know right now, I'm here. He gets the nose in on him in the hairpin. Can he out-accelerate him out of the hairpin? We haven't really seen that except when there's something like this, a huge tire difference. Jeffrey on the inside of the track, covering that inside line, trying to avoid picking up any sort of side draft from Ecstasy, it looks like, and he's still able to maintain braking and maintain a good line through the chicane. I think that's past done, Oak. I don't think Ecstasy can fight back. Do you?
No, I think at this point, Ecstasy's tires is just about hanging on for now. But yeah, I think Jeffrey's just in a better spot with his tires. As I do see Jeffrey go a little bit wide, but I think he is good for now.
I think so. You know who's not out of it is Better Dan. He's right there.
Yep.
He's just a couple of seconds back, and he's on the hard tire. But at this point, Ecstasy softs are so worn. Any mistake, going wide in a corner could really harm him here. No commentators curse though, you know what I mean? As he brushes the wall. Careful, Ecstasy, be careful. Hopefully that was his net code. But yeah, Better Dan is having a look.
He's going in the pits.
Ecstasy pitting. I did
Yeah,
not
he's-
expect that. Does he have to get on the tire? Oh, is this legal to get on the last compound you need in the very last lap? All right,
I
it's
think it
legal.
counts. Yep.
Man, lucky for him to remember. Maybe have we seen him on the hards? I thought we have.
Nope.
We haven't. Okay, so one lap on the hards, and that explains why he was on the soft for so long. And ultimately, it hasn't worked out for him. He's gonna lose any chance at the podium. Jeffrey is taking second place.
He's opted for another set of softs, so
Okay.
yeah.
Did he need a splash of fuel?
For him to,
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's just better for him to just take the round on used tires instead of one full lap on dead tires.
I guess I wouldn't know. Did he take any fuel? Maybe a splash? Are you sure? Eesh.
So I can't recall. I don't think so.
I mean, ultimately he ends up in fourth anyway. I feel like he had maybe a chance to defend against Better Dan, but maybe he didn't feel like he did. So it doesn't change much, assuming that Better Dan would have been able to get around him here. But so close to the end of the race, I can't say that I understand that decision, to be honest. There's Florinoda across the line. We've had one of the most boring races tonight out of the three that we had. It was absolutely dominant. Jeffrey is going to take second place. He has had an incredible race, to be honest, and there were times where I doubted him for real, but he made it happen to take that second spot. Better Dan will take the final podium spot. I think that was Bandit, or that was Metal ahead of them, so he's going to go ahead and have the checkered flag. Here's Ecstasy in fourth place with the freshest rubber on the track. That's Angry Fredbird in fifth, but he's nowhere near about to take the checkered flag. But we're going to hang out with him anyway, going slow with those worn softs. It's such an interesting note from this 12. He's winning the livery competition is what I hear. I wanted to make, listening to this car this whole night, it's very interesting. The note out of it seems so deep and rumbly for a V12, but you can kind of hear that high note. There it goes in it too. I think I'm gonna enjoy driving this car more. I need to drive it some more. But anyway, he's going to cross the line very shortly here. Just a couple more corners left in the stadium section, and we'll see Angry Fredbird cross over for fifth in what I understand is the winning livery so far. Wow, apparently he's dominating the livery competition. So Angry Fredbird, you can cross the line. A winner, we'll go ahead and call it. And then Bandit will cross the line eventually. He's pretty... oh, no, that was... okay, sorry. That was like, are these the final corners? They are. Bandit in sixth. Metal already took the checker flag in seventh. And that concludes tonight's Joker Series races. Man. Oh,
that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It usually is. It usually is. Sal putting on another great race evening, and look at him remembering to save the replay. So our results, I'll go ahead and read those out. We got S7R's Florinoda. Woo, S7R. Up front, Jeffrey will come into second place. Better Dan from PHG in third. PHG's Ecstasy in fourth. Angry Fredbird in fifth. RTS Bandit in sixth, and Metal in seventh place in what was a very exciting 7-car race. That's what the Joker Series does. You know, some good racing there.
Yep.
Someone's called out Jeffrey's amazing 148 lap. Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, that was,
I don't know where you got that from.
Steamer.
148.229. Super, super impressive. Ecstasy, shout out to Ecstasy and trying to make things work out. Went long on those soft tires. I I'm trying to have a better vision of what his strategy was, but I remember he took the Jokers pretty early. But he's had a dominant night until this last race here. He took 4th place. Oak, who's your driver of the race for this last one?
I think I'm gonna take Jeffrey. He had a good comeback. He was kind of in that midfield area during the start of the race, and I liked how he was able to power through it with this tire strategy with his car. He was able to, not make any mistakes, and he came back, and I just like the way that he drove today.
Yeah, that was great. Great job by Jeffrey for sure. I think my driver of the race is gonna have to be Florinoda. Won it, dominated the quali, dominated the race. Great strategy. I don't think he ever lost first place. He stayed out long on those mediums, and even taking Jokers and pitting, never lost his position as far as I recall. So yeah, Team S7R all the way. Who won the livery contest? Oh, my bad. Real quick break. I should look at the script. Guys, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a break, and we'll announce the winners of everything and their prizes that they've gotten.
Gotta burn it up in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. The Joker series were lost but never found. Burn it down, yeah. Burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Stealing sparks, we're dancing with the flame. Every corner's deadly, but we play the game. Joker's rules, no mercy, no disguise. See the hunger for the win in every driver's eyes. Wreckage in the rear view, ghosts on my tail. Push the throttle harder, I was born to fail. No brakes, no mistakes, just a rebel's heart. Joker series rips the world apart. Truth is I'm wired, adrenaline's my vice. Risk it all, roll the dice, pay the price. Fuel in my veins, fire in my chest. Joker's got me hooked, no time for rest. Gotta burn it up in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn it down. Crash and burn, spin out, lose control. Joker's laughing, it's a fight for my soul. Blood on the track, sweat in my eyes. Keep on racing till the day that I die. Faster, harder, break the line. Still the crowd, it's do or die time. Joker's chaos is the only way. Live for the race, so tomorrow to die. Gotta burn it up in the Joker series, burn it down. Push the limit, hear the crowd scream and shout. No surrender, no fear, we're tearing up the ground. In the Joker series, we're lost but never found. Burn it down, burn it to the core. Rev it up, leave them begging for more. Joker's calling, feel the rush, no doubt. In the series, we burn.
We're
All right.
back, and I could turn my camera back on. You know what, Sal? Is it too late for that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You
We
know
all
what?
like to see you.
I turned off my big light because it was too bright in my face. So actually, never mind.
All right. Well, there we
Go
go.
ahead,
Good
Sal.
job, guys, on calling these races. Appreciate you guys being around here. that last one certainly got spread out. It was a much longer race. I was anticipating a fuller lobby, but we still had everything kind of come together at the end, with Vetterdan getting caught up, Ecstasy making some passes, Jeffrey getting himself all the way up into second. Florinota was kind of out in a different world and definitely dominated the entire race, but there certainly was a little bit going on. Even with Angry Fredbird getting the pass on Bandit near the end, there was a little bit of something. Would have liked to see some more cars out there, but still, fun race. I was surprised that the Vulcan actually ended up being the meta here. In my testing, I always thought the Hyro was going to maybe edge out, but clearly the Vulcans took the top 4 spots in the longer race.
Yeah.
So let's get to what people want to know, which is prize stuff. We are going to close the livery poll. It looks like Angry Fredbird has run away with it. It looks like he brought all of his friends to the party, and Angry Fredbird is going to win the livery contest and get a custom jersey from 4D Racewear. So congratulations to Angry Fredbird on that. Where's my golf clap? There it is. Got the golf clap. All right, and then on top of that, the actual race, we had our winners in Florinota taking first place overall, Jeffrey GT97YT coming in second, and PHG's Vetterdan in P3. Good job, guys. You will all be receiving your prizes after we review all the Joker Lap materials to make sure that everybody's satisfied, all the requirements that they were supposed to do. But congrats to those guys. So it's been a long night, and now we're at the point where we talk about what's going to go on next month. This was the last of the 3-race series with the prizes, so next month is going to be a little bit more low-key. We're not going to have prizes for that one. It's just going to be an exhibition race, but I think it's still a fun combo. So what we got going on in the next round is we are going to be at Goodwood in what I am
Interesting.
branding a twinsy race. The Toyota 86 GT from 2015 is a virtual carbon copy of the BRZ-S from 2015. I believe the two manufacturers worked together on these two different cars. The stats are completely identical. Somehow the PP is like a half a point better on one of them, but they're basically the exact same car. And we're going to be at Goodwood. The Joker Lap at Goodwood is, at the very end, you've got that chicane you have to run through where they barriered off that section. You can make it through those barriers. There's like a little slalom that you do through the barriers there, and that ends up being the Joker Lap. You have to come to almost a virtual stop to make it through there. You got to slow way down to like 5-10 miles an hour to make it through that little jog there. But it's a fun one. We're going to be on sports tires. These cars get, at Goodwood is very flat. So there's a lot of momentum to try to be had with these cars. They're relatively low powered cars, but in all honesty, I'm expecting this should be a fun banger of a race. It's almost like driving Group 4s with these two. Any thoughts from you two on this one?
Oh, for sure. I love this combo. These cars are perfect for Goodwood. Like slow, move around a lot, fun to drive cars. These are mechanical twins. You were right with Toyota, and at the time it was a Scion. Actually, it was launched as a Scion. And what do we call it? The Scion, whatever. I can't remember. It didn't have the GT or 86 name in it yet. And then the BRZ. And I think the difference in them, and maybe the reason for that 1 point BOP change, is that the BRZ was tuned to be a little bit more tail happy, but I can't remember if that was actually a suspension tuning or geometry thing or just a tire choice by the Subaru. It was something like that. But yeah, these are going to be great. In fact, don't call me to commentate. I'm racing.
Awesome. Yeah, now that you're in and you got your PlayStation back up and running, it would be nice to see you in there. I know we got T-Case off for a couple of races. Hopefully we'll have him back. Or maybe Oak wants to make another appearance, certainly, but unless he's jonesed up to race in something like this. But
yeah.
Oak, any thoughts from you?
I do like this combo. I think this will offer absolutely great racing because they're slow cars and they're not the fastest things in the world. So I think that in terms of proximity, this race is going to be definitely a tight one. These cars are pretty much identical. So I'm surprised that the like Tati said, the Scion, I think it's called the FRS. I'm surprised it's not in the game.
Yes,
Uh,
the FRS.
but yeah, I think this combo is absolutely great, and I think that the slow racing or the slow cars combined with the track that it's on is going to provide for some great racing.
Yeah, definitely. The track is not very wide, so there's certainly some, tightness there. And again, it's very momentum heavy. Like you really want to try to carry as much speed through some of these corners as you can. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of a fun combo to test. It takes a while to kind of get that momentum down, but once you do, and going back and forth between the two cars, it's like, yeah, I mean, they're identical, so it was really easy to kind of figure out what to do as far as the settings and stuff. You just only had to test one, and you just duplicate it. So that's what we're going to be doing in August. So that will be a fun one. Again, that one's mostly going to be just exhibition races, but should be a good time. Everybody's welcome to show up. All you got to do is read up on the Joker Series rules so you know what's going on. Show up in a car. They're cheap cars too. Hopefully, we can fill up some splits there. So, once again, I want to give a shout out to 40 Racewear, our sponsor. Thanks for being here. Jim, for showing up earlier, kind of telling us the 40 Racewear origin story. That was pretty cool. And even hanging around for the first split. It was always nice to talk to Jim. And everybody should definitely go check them out at 40racewear.com. If you use code Salamander10X at checkout, you will get 10% off of your order. You can certainly order up the shoes. They're really good performance-wise for racing, or get a jersey. Their jerseys are actually really nice as well. So definitely go check them out. In addition to that, I just want to call out all the other like kind of sister leagues and series that we have out there and kind of bring some attention to them. Right now, we've got going on the VIP League. They just did their first set of races last night in round one. They've got the second set of the round one races tomorrow night, which is actually going to be broadcast on our Upshift Media Studios channel. So definitely go and check out at Upshift Media Studios on YouTube. Go like and subscribe over there so you can check out the races for the VIP League. We've got the PHG World Series. They're in an off season right now. We just wrapped up season 4, and we'll be likely starting season 5 at the beginning of next year. NRL is another popular league out there put on by McNaughty at McNaughty Gaming. You can find him online at mcnaughty.gg. NRL is also in an off season, but we believe they haven't announced a date yet, but we believe they're probably going to start up their next season, which I believe is going to be season 8 that they're up to. Will probably happen once the VIP League wraps up in September. So cross our fingers for that one. Our good buddy T-Case, he runs T-Case Tuesdays every Tuesday. You can go find him at T-Case 101 on YouTube. Go check him out. There's Sector 7. Tati's part of Sector 7 here. They've got the Red Bull Junior Series going on right now. Tati, where can they find more information on that Red Bull Junior Series?
So the Sector 7 Racing Discord for sure. We don't have a website that I can recall. That makes me a terrible teammate that I don't know that, but I don't think we have a website. I think the Discord is the only place to catch us. Nuke, please forgive me if I'm wrong about that, but I think I'm right. So the best way to reach us is to maybe go to the Sector 7 YouTube channel, Sector 7 Racing, and then you can get a link to like the Discord to get invited in there.
Yep. Okay. So that's how you can find them through that. Again, it's the Red Bull Junior Series. They're also hosting the Gran Turismo Sprint Championship, which is kind of in conjunction with IRO and their Gran Turismo Endurance Championship that is also going on. That is practically a year-long series, both the Endurance Championship and the Sprint Championship. You can definitely go check them out. Again, on the Sector 7 YouTube page or the IRO YouTube page. IRO stands for International Racing Organization. The endurance races they put on there are epic. They go anywhere from 8 hours to 24 hours with driver swaps. And the GTSC series is 3-hour races also with driver swaps. So definitely go check them out. And I think that's right. I was going to give away, I've got queued up some free memberships that I can give away. Yeah, I have 10 to give out. I'm going to give out 5 right now. So whoever can get those. Who's it going to assign to? Slow-Mo gets one. Noodle, Mustang Chuck, Croatian Racing, and who is that? OJR 2010. So congratulations to you guys for becoming members of the Salamander Racing channel. You can check out all the content here. For those of you out there watching in YouTube land, if you haven't hit the like button or the subscribe button, please consider doing so. We love doing the series like this, the Joker series. When the PHG World Series fires up, we run a lot of those here as well, along with all the work that we do for Upshift Media Studios. So please remember to like and subscribe and come back in the future. And that's really it. So Tati, Oak, I'll give you guys both a chance to say goodbye to our viewers before we sign off. Oak, I'll let you go first. Unless he's having headset issues, which he might be.
Sorry, I'm
There
good
he is.
now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I hope everyone has a great rest of their night, and I hope you guys have a great weekend coming up soon. It's Friday night. Yeah, great racing tonight. Awesome comms. Thank you, Tati. Thank you, Sal. And yeah, thank you, the viewers.
Absolutely. Thank you, Oak, for stepping up and coming helping out with comms today.
Anytime.
Tati, you're up.
Yes, good night, everybody. Fun time as always, Sal. Thanks for tapping in with me. And Oak, it was such a pleasure having you in the booth, and I hope we get to do it again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tati, for being here for the upteenth time. I really appreciate it. And to everybody out there, thanks for watching. We really enjoy putting on these shows for you. So until next time, peace out. Be nice to one another, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
See you guys.
keep the